That's what this sack of wrenches is for. If you can dodge a wrench, you can dodge Cosmere Chronicles, the podcast where we follow two first-time readers, Justin and Sheta, and we chronicle their journey through Brand Sanderson's Cosmere series. On today's episode, we'll be chronicling the Stormlight Archive, The Way of Kings, chapters 54 through 56. So now, let's throw it over to the host of Cosmere Chronicles. This is Joe. Thank you, Joe. Yep, everyone, welcome back. This is Cosmere Chronicles. I am Joe, I'm your host, and as usual, I am joined by Sheta and Justin.
Hello.
Hey guys.
And this week, once again, we brought back our one time every book guest. So we have Nick showing up once more.
Yay.
Yay.
So I guess first thing I'll just ask Nick, because since this is the first time being on for Stormlight Archive, Way of Kings, all that. How have you been liking this book so far?
Well, let me tell you, it's good. I think some of the bridge run, that kind of area seems to feel like it's not going anywhere sometimes. But in between that, I like. Well, let me start at the beginning. I liked the beginning where they show the what are they? The radiance and the desolations, and there's just godlike beings. You have no idea what's going on. So that's a wild start. And then they show all the powers at the beginning, the lashings and all that, which kind of seems on brand. They did that in Mistborn, kind of Warbreaker, White Sand, where they show like the magic system, like all of it at once, and then nothing for a while. But yeah, I like where the story's going, and I think it's gonna start. Big things are gonna start happening soon.
That opening is kind of a cock tease that you pointed out.
Yeah, I know. Where are
'Cause
they?
you're like-
What is that?
Some giant thing. Meanwhile, back at the most mundane guy, or the most lowest of the low.
Can't wait to read about that in a couple chapters.
In a couple books, more like.
Well, to be fair, the first thing they show you is 4,500 years ago.
Yeah,
Did
we
they say
didn't
that?
know that at the time.
It feels like it's gonna be a 450 years later.
Well, the first thing they show you in Lord of the Rings is 3,000 years ago, right?
That is true.
Yeah, maybe that's a thing.
I don't know where I'm going with that. But...
All right. But and I'll just ask you, Nick, out of the characters, who's your favorite character so far?
Oh golly, I didn't expect this one. I think I like probably just Kaladin. I mean, it's probably the easiest, but he just always seems to know what to do, and he's just so skilled in the combat and the healing, and he just, I guess that's all I could say is that he just seems to usually know what to do in the situations, and he's kind of leading everyone out. It kind of reminds me of Raoden, kind of the hopeless situation, but just kind of rising above it and getting everybody on track.
Mhm.
All right. Well, now we're going to go into our random question for the week. And so this one comes from the fact where recently I've been reading a lot of the old Star Wars books, the EU books. I've kind of been going chronological order, starting with After A New Hope. Right now I'm at A New Rebellion, which is about, I think, 17 years after A New Hope. And it just made me start thinking about all the characters in there that have never been in a movie. So our question this week is, who are your favorite Star Wars characters who have never appeared in any of the theatrical released movies? So that's 12 movies so far, 13 once you add in Mandalorian, Grogu. And yeah, so you can pick anybody who's been in books, comic books, video games, TV shows, holiday special, just nobody that has appeared in a movie.
All three are coming from the holiday special on all of us, and there'll be no crossover.
Oh. But are the guests in the universe, or are they just watching a show that was broadcast?
Yeah, I'm picking Jefferson Starship as one of my favorite characters, so it'll count.
No. Who's go first?
That's a big question, yeah.
Yeah, I don't mind. In no particular order, I have Thrawn, I have Luthen Rail from the Andor series, and Kyle Katarn. Those Dark Forces Jedi Knight games I grew up with, and it was always fun.
Mhm.
See, Justin, I brought up Kyle Katarn on our show last week, and Nick's bringing him up here.
I had already selected him prior to listening.
Was which character was that from Andor?
Luthen,
Yeah, which one
Stellan
was that?
Skarsgård's.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, he had a real great monologue in
Mhm.
the first season.
Yeah, that was
and
badass.
Kind of hooked me.
Mhm.
All right, I will go next. I will also pick Grand Admiral Thrawn, but I will specifically pick because there's two different canons of Thrawn. Technically, it'll be the old EU Thrawn, not the secretly a good guy superhero modern Thrawn, even though I did enjoy parts of those books or that couple I read. But I like Empire Thrawn. Then I'll pick Cad Bane from Clone Wars, who I thought was just super, like, designed to be a badass likable character. I loved his voice. Did not like him so much in Book of Boba Fett, but I also didn't hate him in there because all he did was walk in and get fucked up. So, and then third, I'm going to go with HK-47 from Knights of the Old Republic, the assassin droid you work with, who always like just hates humans so much, looks down on everybody, would kill everyone around him if he wasn't forced to work with them. I just thought he was such a fun, funny character.
Everyone's got a good variety
Mm-hmm.
from all over. All right. So I'm going to go with probably my number one character I want to see is Star Killer, just from the Unleashed video games. And I just think I love Sam Witwer, and I would have loved to see him play him in a movie or something like that.
I cannot fathom why they didn't do that in Ahsoka season 1. I thought they were going to for sure.
Yeah,
So cool.
that would have been cool.
Mm-hmm.
Well, technically,
fight.
it's still old canon.
Yeah, but Sam Witwer works with them all the time. He's ready to go. He's there. And
He's on their
not
payroll.
getting any younger. So just get him in there. I just like that would get me back into that stuff. I would go just to watch that fight alone.
Oh yeah.
All I want, I know that it's the old canon. Just give me a Force Unleashed 3 book. Just finish that off because the second video game ended on a cliffhanger.
So the last part's going to be just a show or a movie?
Just a book. Just finish off the storyline.
I see. Okay, and then I'm going to pick Darth Bane. I just love his character so much, and I think it's a really unique aspect of the universe, and I would love to see just like a Sithy movie with him starring him. That would be fun. And then my last one is Crosshair from Bad Batch. I think seeing any of the Bad Batch guys would be really fun, but I really like Crosshair specifically, and since it's a character, then I think it would be really fun to see that.
Do you prefer on their team Crosshairs or loyal to the Empire Crosshairs? Even though
I
he
just
doesn't
love
have the chip?
I love his story. I would
Okay.
like to see that. Yeah.
See it in like
I
live
know.
action, or
Yeah, in live action.
would they have to get, because they're all clones, so they're all just variations of.
Yeah.
Do like a
Well,
CGI of the actor, but all emaciated.
no.
That'd be pretty
I
funny.
imagine they
No.
would just cast people who look
No.
similar.
He's got to gain the weight and the muscle, and then he's got to shrink down. He's got to Christian Bale it and
Yeah,
play each
dude.
one of them separately.
Oh my
If they had him
gosh.
play all
Well-
of them, but like years, like months apart, so he could gain and
Mhm.
lose the mass, that would be so awesome.
Cut off his arm
couldn't-
for the last one.
Couldn't you just kind of cheat it with the Bad Batch since they're all messed up versions of clones?
No, I want to see it the way Nick described it. That would be the coolest way.
It would take years to film that.
It would be so worth it.
And the poor guy's gonna be like
Yeah,
going through
Christian
so
Bale
much.
from Machinist to Dark Knight, right? Yeah, that would
Yep.
be so great.
How old is he right now? Yeah.
He's old
Yeah.
enough.
He's
It
old.
ain't easy to lose the weight.
Yeah.
He's old enough.
Tamora
that I don't
Morrison
know-
is 65.
He's
Yeah,
old enough that
leave
I have
him
no
alone.
idea why they haven't had a live action Captain Rex yet. That drives me nuts.
Oh, I know. That's
Yeah,
my honorable
that's
mention,
frustrating.
Captain Max.
Was Captain Rex in
according-
the Clone Wars movie?
I'd assume so. It's been a while
I
since
don't
I
remember
watched
him in
it.
there.
If he is, he did not play a big role. We'd have to rewatch to see if we see like the clone with the helmet markings.
Mm-hmm.
But hey, according to Dave Filoni, he did appear in Return of the Jedi.
Yeah, I know. That doesn't count.
Yeah, because Dave Filoni, he based his look in Rebels off of one of the Rebel people that went with Han onto Endor was this older guy with a white beard. So he's like, that's Rex.
Oh, come
All right. I guess with mine, so what I'm going to have is number one will be Mara Jade for favorite characters. I had her in my top 3 overall Star Wars. I just liked her pretty much. I read most of the stuff that has her in it, like the Timothy Zahn, almost everything he wrote in the old stuff. And every book will either be focused on Thrawn or Mara Jade. And even read a bunch of his short stories and stuff. I like her. Her storyline's pretty good. I know I'm only at the New Rebellion, but I know that she does also start playing a bigger role in later books as well, so I'm excited to get to those. Second character, I will go with Kip Duran. He first showed up in the Jedi Academy trilogy. He's showing up some other books, and I know that he'll do other stuff later. I liked his storyline, being trained as a Jedi, going dark, able to come back a little bit. It's been pretty interesting to see, and I'm same thing with Mara Jade, really curious to see what he does in the future. And also, my other one, I will go with from the books, Isard. She was the villain, pretty much took over the Empire after Palpatine died, was trying to run it for a little bit. And my God, she is evil. She is ruthless and evil. I mean, she starts using like biological warfare, sending diseases out to only hit aliens to try to turn people against the rebellion. It's just bad.
What books is she from?
Yeah. So she was like the main villain in the X-Wing series.
Okay.
And then after that, like she has appeared in other stuff. Like if people would like write comics that took place beforehand, like she would appear in some of those because she's just the person in charge of the Empire at that point. Like the Mara Jade comic, she's there as like a villain, like trying to hunt down Mara Jade and stuff. She's referenced in some stuff. She's just pretty cool. And I will have to also throw in just 2 honorable mentions. One is Winter, another Timothy Zahn created character. She never really plays a big part in the books, but whenever she shows up, it's just fun to see her in them. And my other honorable mention will have to be Jaina Solo. Where I am at, she's only 7 years old at this point, so she hasn't really done too much, but she will do more in the future. But thing that really made me like her a lot is in the Crystal Star. That book mostly sucks. Leia parts of the story are bad. Luke, Han parts of the story are bad. The only parts that were actually pretty good were the Jaina POV sections. And yeah, she's definitely where I'm at so far. Out of the 3 Solo kids, the one I like the most.
I'm going to have to do an honorable mention quick because it was so close, which would just be Darth Plagueis, because I really liked the idea of like a Sith scientist character who's like trying to math out or study the magics of it and stuff and do all this weird, creepy stuff. And I like that quite a bit, but I don't like the character as much because my favorite character in those books is Palpatine, who is, of course, in 1 or 2 of the movies, I believe.
That's a book. If people have not read Darth Plagueis, you should read it. That is a fantastic book.
Nick,
All
you
right.
going to throw in Lumpy as your honorable mention, like you were saying?
He's just below. I think Bane. Bane's probably my honorable mention. But then Lumpy.
Lumpy. Even in the books, they like try to redeem Lumpy, try to make him cool.
Lumpy's
He's not
in
cool.
Books?
Yeah. He had like his whole coming of age part of the story where they got to choose a new nickname for himself. And he switched from Lumpy to Waru.
Whoa, that's much cooler.
It's better than Lumpy, okay? Whoever made the holiday special and thought, let's make this character's name Lumpy. It's like, what the hell?
Isn't the grandpa's name Itchy or something?
Yeah. his full name, it's like Atatichuk or something like that. It's the way it's spelled. It's like trying to pronounce that damn thing is so hard. I think that's enough. I think we went
so.
through these Star Wars characters. So let's go back to Brandon Sanderson with our recap of last week's episode. So Nick, you're here. You have to take the plunge.
Yes, sir. Okay, we had the interlude chapters. First one, we had Baxel. He and some people are walking through a palace. The woman with them, I don't remember her name, is destroying a bunch of art. And
She didn't have a name.
Oh, perfect.
They just called her the mistress.
The mistress. Yeah. And they talk about going to the Night Watcher. And the next chapter, there's two Ardents, and they're studying Spren. And then the next one, Zeth goes to the king's banquet and kills everybody. And then he kills King Hanavanar of Jakaved, stabs him in the face. Dalinar, he gets himself tied up during a high storm and has a vision. And he sees the Radiants all gathering together and then abandoning their duty in what they were calling the Day of Recreance. So everyone else in his vision, everyone else at the keep is fighting over the shard blades, and a voice tells him, read the book and unite him. He wakes up and is everyone with them. They come to the idea of having Navani transcribe his visions to try to prove or disprove them. And then Navani hits on him real good.
Yeah, she does.
Yeah. The next one, Kaladin's in a bridge run. Dunny dies, and Kaladin tends to the injured from the other bridges. Is that it?
That was very good.
Inspiration.
Sure. Yeah, you can have an inspiration.
Nice.
All right. Yep. So this week we've read 3 chapters 54 through 56. So I'll ask you guys, as usual, what do you think of these chapters?
Really fun for me.
I didn't think anything different than what I have on previous chapters.
Yes, that's my
pretty much-
answer.
Yeah.
Yep.
By the books, what I expect so far chapters.
Really exciting thing happened.
At least one exciting thing happened. Probably a couple. It's getting somewhere, but it's nothing like huge yet.
Yeah, I'm trying to think what the specifically exciting thing is, Sheta.
Might be the same as mine, but we'll find out in those recaps.
Yeah.
All right. Well, then we'll get right into the recap. So starting off, chapter 54, called Gibbletish. Epigraph. The burdens of 9 become mine. Why must I carry the madness of them all? O Almighty, release me. Subject was a wealthy light eyes. Sample collected secondhand.
Hey, real quick. I was wondering, these quotes at death, did they occur while someone is dying? Like they've already been mortally wounded? Or is it simply a certain amount of time before they do die?
Well, if it's anything like the one we saw that Kaladin heard, it was like right when he was dying. The one guy who said some weird cryptic shit.
Yeah, there was one like a week ago where the guy was like 2 minutes from death.
Mm.
I'm hoping it's
Yeah,
when they're mortally wounded. Because if not, then like if you say your quote and then 10 seconds later someone cuts your head off, if
That's
you
a
could
good
recognize
question, actually.
if you could recognize that this
Oh.
is happening, you'd be like, oh no, this person's about to die.
Let's watch him real quick.
Like his
Save
string of
him.
fate is running out, so we gotta
Yeah. He
Let's
said
send
his
one of
thing.
these scribes over and watch him
Yeah.
ready to write his last words down.
So I'd have to guess it's when someone's mortally wounded.
That's what my assumption was. I never questioned it.
But then wasn't somebody wounded in battle, and it was pretty quick, right? Like with Kaladin? Is that what you were
Yeah.
talking about? Like
With
he was-
Kaladin, it was
Yeah.
a dude who was dying. He was trying to save, and the guy like died right away.
Mhm.
but he talked though still, right? Before
Yeah,
he
he
died.
said a weird cryptic thing that Kaladin
That's
had no context
weird.
for.
I wonder if everyone does that.
I don't know. Like I said before, I think if everyone did,
That
it
would
would
be
be more of a
insane.
known thing people kind of talked about.
Can you imagine the battlefield? Like Dalinar's taking a sweep at 6 people at once, and they're all just a chorus of I don't know.
Hey, maybe that's what the singing is.
Yeah, we've seen Kaladin. Well, we've seen Kaladin witness it twice. Once was on a bridge run. One of the bridgemen died, and the other one was Sen in the flashback.
Yep.
But we have seen other people die, like the little girl in Kaladin's flashback, and she didn't say anything cryptic.
True. And the kid, Rashawn's kid.
Yeah. Maybe if you're past the point where like your throat's ripped out and you can't talk anymore.
It makes it hard. I wonder if Tien said anything. I think that's
Yeah, I wonder
one
what the
missing
rules are.
flashback.
Oh,
I bet what Tien
Yeah.
says will explain why Syl's here.
I'm a little fairy girl.
Yeah,
he
that's
says.
it.
That's weird.
All right, so it's a Dalinar chapter. Yeah, we can see it because the symbol is his like tower and crown thing. That's his logo. All right, and Dalinar arrives at another of the king's feasts. He sees Navani there, but she turns away from him. She's still kind of upset after he rebuffed her last time. And he hasn't received word back from Yasna yet about his visions, but Navani did say that she might try to find something on her own. She was a renowned scholar herself, but her interests have usually been in fabrials. And as Dalinar's going in, Wit is not at his normal spot, insulting people as they enter. All the other high princes are there at the feast, but their treatment of Dalinar has grown stiff ever since he had asked them to join on plateau assaults. And as Dalinar sits and eats, the seats around him stay empty. He has been becoming a pariah after his talk of the codes, asking the high princes to join him, and Sadeas' investigation. And then Wit suddenly sits down next to Dalinar while wearing a cloak and doesn't say anything. So Dalinar just thinks that maybe this is Wit's way of messing with people today, just sitting down quietly next to them.
Oh yeah, I like that messing with people by not messing with them, like just anticipating what is this clown gonna do? Just waiting.
I know those types.
Yeah, you're freaking out about it all week. You got this dinner. He embarrassed you so much last time, and then he's...
And then Wit says the winds are changing, and it has been happening for months now. And Dalinar tells him that he doesn't have time for Wit's mind games today. And then Wit looks directly at Dalinar and says, Adel nauseum, and asks if he has heard the term before.
Well, that's one I do remember where we heard that before, because we've talked about it before. So that was weird to hear.
And Dalinar's just confused, and Wit says, it's just a nonsense word. Never mind. And, he says, isn't it odd that gibberish words are the sounds of other words cut up and then stitched together into something that's like them but different?
Ooh, is that a clue at Adel?
Yeah, I'm trying to think what that would mean. Does that mean they split up? They combined all the gods into one giant god long ago?
Is that word a bunch of different words together?
Oh, going more literal with it?
Yeah.
Is it just Brandon Sanderson explaining how he makes up words?
Well, there's arrogance.
Yep. Arrogance.
Yeah.
Ooh, hey, by the way, you're really upset about that one, but I have a rebuttal for that.
What? Let's hear it.
It's that there are lots of different words with similar meanings, and if you try hard enough, you could probably make it work in any language. For example, I have wrongfidence in English.
That's true.
And I'm like, well, let's look at Spanish, and there's one that kind of fit really well together for that. And
a good way to judge that would be to see how this book was translated in different languages, how they did that part.
Oh yeah.
You could probably call me out on that if they had like really good translations.
Yeah, I'll have to look that up. I was just trying to keep your immersion. I didn't want that to send you.
I like keeping immersion.
Yeah, Justin, just think of it like the translation from the alien language to English. They did a good job at localizing.
Surely they found a couple alien words that fit together like that.
Or they did an awful job at localizing. That could be just as true.
Yeah.
All right, and Wit continues, and he wonders if you could do that to a man. Pull him apart, emotion by emotion, bit by bit, and then combine them into something else. Kind of like a Dacian alien.
What is a Dacian alien?
So, this is the second time we've heard Amian.
Okay, so
we've
that's
heard
a word in here.
So, Well, Amia, if you look at the map, it's a country all the way to the west. It's an island all the way farthest to the west.
Mm-hmm.
We met one person who was a Saya Amian,
Mm-hmm.
and that was Axes the Collector.
Ooh.
Right, so it's just something we don't know yet, right?
It sounds like it's a
Yeah.
mix of two places or someone.
It's more like he's a Saya Amian, and then this is talking about a Dacian Amian, so just two different versions of Amians.
Oh yeah,
Mhm.
I have notes on that. I thought that was weird. I have a theory.
May the gods help us then.
Wit tells Dalinar that if he does do that, they should name the person Garish after Wit, or perhaps Gibbeltish. Dalinar asks if that's Wit's real name, but Wit says that he's abandoned his real name, but he will think of a clever one the next time they meet. Until then, Wit will suffice. Or if he must, then he can call him Hoyd.
Mm.
I shouted "fuck you" when I heard that.
Yeah.
God, you got me. Was that the part, Sheta,
And-
the interesting part that you were mentioning? Or is it
Oh, that
something
was
else?
pretty. That was pretty interesting. But
That
I
was
had
only
another.
pretty interesting.
It's really interesting, but
Not only
this
did
is
they
a.
name drop the being beyond all that Sazed had referenced, but he also officially reveals that this is in fact Hoyd, tying whatever he's doing here to whatever the overall story is. And you're like, yeah, that was pretty interesting.
It's very, very interesting.
Like-
No one's gonna like what I liked about these chapters.
Can't wait. I like how Dalinar kind of dismisses him at first, but if he knew what we knew, that what Hoyd was, like, I would listen to his every word. Like, this guy has been places. This guy knows
Yeah.
stuff.
Whatever you're going through, he probably knows more about it than you do at this point. And it really makes me
Yeah.
wonder when he name dropped that. Was there a part of him that wondered if Dalinar would know what that was or have it from a vision or something,
Hoyd?
Or was he just fucking with him?
I think he was. I think he
Yeah.
was like, did you see anything about Ada Nauseum in your visions?
Yeah.
Like, and when he was like, what? What are you talking about? And he's like, okay, never mind. You're not ready yet.
Not
like,
ready.
Or like, what was that word that Kaladin had heard that he told Syl and she freaked out?
Odium.
Yeah, the
Imodium?
bad guy thing. Or the thing
Yeah.
that it's like bringing the bad stuff, the darkness, yeah.
Yeah, so it'd be like Hoyd saying Imodium to Kaladin.
That's true, yeah.
Ring a bell? Anything? Okay.
Mhm.
Odium. Isn't Imodium like a medication of sort?
I wouldn't
Odium's
know.
a word.
Imodium.
Odium's an Odium's an actual word that
Yep.
means hatred.
Oh, okay. Imodium is diarrhea relief. I wonder if
Oh
it has anything
my
to do with
God.
hatred.
You
that's
figured
it. That's the
out.
clue.
I don't think
Huh.
there's much I hate more than diarrhea that is not coming out. So
Diarrhea is hatred.
yeah.
Your body hates you.
Yeah, get this shit out of here.
Anyway. Oh yeah, Hoyd.
Yep.
Hey, I had notes on just a thing that I had read earlier but didn't get it. Really hadn't been able to say anything. Like he had the brief visit to Cell that he had mentioned. And we already kind of
Oh,
knew
yeah.
travel between worlds, but how? My first thought is how, and I'm sure they don't have spaceships, and there's probably something magical. And we know Aondor has a teleportation Aeon, so I don't know if he could be real precise with that and say a million miles or.
Yeah, like is he specifically going to specific worlds or is he just finding all the glitches and seeing where it takes him? Is that what you're saying?
I don't know.
Yeah,
But
I'm very curious.
there was an epigraph in Yasna's notebook that said, "Within a heartbeat, Elazar was there, crossing a distance that would have taken more than 4 months to travel by foot." And she said stories of instantaneous travel and the oath gates pervade these. There is that magic in this world somehow. I wonder if that's. But
I
that's
never
stuff.
thought of teleportation. That's cool.
For the instantaneous thing? Should I?
Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't think of teleporting
For Hoyd or here, are you saying?
for that entry.
Really?
Oh, when it said
Oh,
within a heartbeat he was there crossing.
what
a
did you
Yeah.
think it was then?
Something stupid.
Oh, really?
metaphor.
Yeah, metaphor.
Like, okay.
All right. And then with Hoyd, I've been waiting until this point to confirm it, but you guys already pretty much have put together. Yes, the Hoyd you've been seeing in all the stories is the same person.
Spoiler. Oh, I had a
I-
question. Unless you, they described his appearance here, and I don't know if they've done that before. They said like a long, narrow face, sharp, angular features.
If they did, I didn't pick up on it because here I was really noticing the description.
Yeah.
Much handsomer than I expected him to be.
So I'm
Yeah.
wondering, is he described the same way in other places? Does he keep the same?
So-
appearance?
Before this point, we haven't really gotten too much of a description of him. Most of the time, it's been like in Mistborn and in Elantris. You know, Elantris, he was bandaged up and kind of looked like a bigger. Mistborn, he looked like a bigger. In Warbreaker, he had like a long white beard and white hair and stuff like that.
See, yeah, I always kind of thought he was old, and wit is not described that way.
I just guess that he's a master of disguise if he's a
Yeah, I
traveler
imagine
with
he
people
carries a
chasing
bag
after
of
him.
fake beards and homeless clothes that he just
Yeah.
throws on like Jafar does.
Well, it could even be like, like people, like, I don't know why I lost the train of thought. Prosthetics, like fake nose stuff, like
Mhm,
costume
mhm.
nose stuff. If he's good enough at it, or even some kind of magic to kind of shift his face.
Yeah,
Because if you're
glamour
on
or
the run
something.
trying to blend in, yeah.
Sure, I
Is-
guess. How
Yeah,
do you have
but
to
from
disguise?
this-
He's literally different planets. Okay, God.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but he's
from
being
this-
chased, we know. So that's why I wonder.
Oh, right.
Yeah, so who knows what he's got to do.
Master of disguise.
I was thinking more like
Yep.
Sherlock Holmes, but Master of Disguise works too.
Yeah, pretty much. Now it's like we kind of will have this description of him. Usually he'll be described as having like an angular face or like hawkish features.
Did you
Okay,
say
so this is-
angular?
Oh, fuck. Oh, shit.
Not
That
that
would be the
angular.
funniest
A
thing.
clue.
And to figure it out from Joe describing it as angular.
Just
would be
the angular
hilarious.
face, but he's wearing
You
like a
gave it
fake
away.
mustache.
Yep. He
He's
looks
just
like
one of
that
those
if you
crystal
look at him
heads.
right, yeah.
Well, that's not always gonna, having those descriptions won't always gonna tell you because we're also told like Moash has a hawkish face. So
Mhm.
Don't try to muddle it up, Joe. You
So,
gave
Joe,
away.
you're telling us not to jump at every single angular face that appears in this book.
probably
am.
yeah,
Like,
and
oh my god, it's hard.
and yeah, he's
hopefully
appeared in most.
Shalon sees him and she's like, "Oh my God, you're it! You're the creature I've seen."
Yeah.
And now there is one occasion where we've met Hoyd, but it didn't make it clear. It's something where I don't really agree with it, but Brandon has confirmed that's Hoyd, and so I guess we'll have to go with it. Because it was in Well of Ascension, when Elend and Spook were returning back to Luthadel, they run into all the Terrace people, and Terrace were like, yeah, the Steel Inquisitors, they attacked our homeland and killed a bunch of us. The Terrace person they're talking to, Brandon has said that's Hoyd.
How would
The
we
problem
know
is that that's my issue with it. I don't know if Brandon planned that when he wrote that book or if he did that retroactively and said it was Hoyd. But
Is it just because he wants him in every book and he forgot to put him in that one?
I don't know. I don't know if he had the plan beforehand or not, but I'm just saying that is Hoyd there too. Because trust me, when we reread it, I was looking, seeing if it described this Terrace as having hawkish features or angular face, or no, it just says he's a Terraceman. Because Hoyd, Brandon has said where he came up with the idea of the character, it's like it was something that he came up with when he was like a kid growing up. Whenever he'd read a fantasy book or something like that, he'd always pick like a random background character in the book. He'd be like, all right, this character that doesn't do anything, this is the same guy. And he's just jumping from fantasy book to fantasy book watching stuff.
So that's interesting. That's why he'd come up with this shared thing. That's a very interesting origin story there, because it seemed like such a specific idea to do.
It's a cute little thing to do.
Yeah, you turn your fan fiction into an entire series.
Mhm.
And that's also why I did not want to tell you guys about Hoyd when we started this, because I wanted you to get, because you had it too, the weirdness where you read Elantris, character named Hoyd, then you're reading Mistborn, it's like, character named Hoyd, it's like, wait.
Is he
That's the
reusing
same
names
name.
already?
Yeah.
And then it gets real weird once you get to Hero of Ages and Ben sees Hoyd. It's like, there's something weird about that. I'm not going to talk to him. She just gets an odd feeling.
That was the freakiest shit, man. And it never came back around in there.
Mhm.
And then you're reading Warbreaker, you see Hoyt again. At that point, you guys were like, what the hell's going on with this guy?
Mhm.
Then you get into Way of Kings, and you have oh yeah, there's those three guys, and they're like, we're looking for a guy named Hoyt. So let's get back to the story. So with Hoyt talking to Dalinar, and then he says that Sadeas is planning something tonight, and he says farewell to Dalinar. He must leave, but he does hope to return. And Hoyt does say that he does enjoy the free food that he gets from being Elkar's wit, but the Cosmere takes precedence. And then he tells Dalinar to watch himself. Life becomes dangerous, and he is at the center of it.
Saying the Cosmere takes precedence gives Hoyd more of a mission feeling than I expected from him. Because it kind of seemed to me like he might just, I don't know, be out on his own agenda or something. But saying that makes me feel like he has, I don't know, some greater purpose than just dicking around for fun.
Yeah. Sounds like Rip Hunter or somebody like that instead of just someone adventuring around and stuff.
Yeah.
And after Wit leaves, Dalinar figures that his warning was not a joke, and so he has a servant bring Adolin to him. And Dalinar, while he's waiting, he looks over at Elhokar, who is currently sitting at the table with Sadeas and Sadeas' wife, Ela.
Sadeas' curvy wife, Ela, Joe. You forgot to mention that part.
Dang.
Okay.
I was impressed. I was like, Sadeas, I guess Sheta was wrong about you.
Mhm.
I already told you he was married.
Yeah, but I didn't know he was married to a foreign babe.
When Adolin arrives, Dalinar says that Sadeas is planning something tonight. He tells Adolin to prepare, but not to take action. They need to let this play out. And Dalinar tells Adolin to give its invitation to the 6 guards so that way they could come up onto the King's Island. And he asks Adolin, about the King's Guard that are at the feast tonight. And Adolin confirms that the members of the King's Guard here tonight are those that are most loyal to Dalinar. And Adolin, he does prepare in case Elhokar calls for Dalinar's arrest, so that way they can get the hell out of there. And he notes that Elhokar has been growing more and more paranoid, and he is almost always wearing his shard plate nowadays. After Adolin leaves, Dalinar goes and he joins in a conversation with High Prince Hatham, an Ardent, and a dignitary from Natan. And then they're talking, they ask Dalinar about the conflict that's currently going on between the Tukari and the Imuli. He says that it's religious, but the Natan says that's just an excuse. All wars are economic in nature. He explains that this war is over the city of Sesomalak's Dar, which Imul has made their capital. It is an excellent trade city, and that's the real reason why Tukar wants it. The Imuli claim the city was given to them from one of the heralds, and the Tukari, they are currently led by their god priest Tezem, so it kind of is religious. And then suddenly, Dalinar just asked them if they have ever heard of Feverstone Keep, but none of them had. And then after that, they just kind of go back to the conversation they were having about wars. And they ask Dalinar about war, and Dalinar says, well, that's just another war. It's what we do. We find ways just to fight and kill each other. And him saying this just kind of makes the others awkward. And then Hatham finds a way to end the conversation by bringing up Dalinar's devotary and being like, yeah, that's the sort of thing that your devotary would be behind. And then the Ardent winds up insulting the Natan by talking about how he's not really that devout. And Natan's like, well, yes, I am. And he winds up leaving. After Hatham follows, Dalinar's like, why would you say that to him? And the Ardent's like, well, I'm one of Hatham's Ardents. And it was actually all part of a plan. Now, when Hatham makes a trade deal with the Natan won't think that the terms are just too good, and he will instead think that Hatham is just jumping right into this deal in order to make up for the insult I just gave him. After this conversation, Adolin comes up to Dalinar and tells him that the men are in place. So Dalinar decides to take the initiative now and go to talk to Sadeas and Elhokar. And he asks Sadeas, you have your findings on the investigation? Go ahead, tell everyone now. Sadeas is reluctant, but he agrees to it. So he gets everyone's attention in the place, and he begins to tell him what he has found. Sadeas explains that he has found that the saddle of Elhokar's was certainly cut by somebody. Sadeas also points out that there really is not a point to cut a Shardbearer's saddle because it won't do anything. Because Shardbearer gets thrown from a horse, no big deal. But when they had checked out the plate after the battle, 8 of the 10 sapphires that are in it were cracked. It's normal to have 1 or 2 crack, but 8 is not normal. Sadeas then explains that one of Elhokar's grooms had told him that he had put Elhokar's favorite saddle on his horse. But later, when he saw the horse leaving Elhokar's palace and going for Dalinar's camp, it was wearing a different saddle. And Adolin just jumps out and be like, see, this proves that my father couldn't have done it. And Sadeas agrees with Adolin.
Adolin, that was so fucking awkward.
He's just passionate about it. He's probably very scared.
I mean, it was a little relieving. It really did seem like Sadeas was up to something.
Yeah, I was
Eliminate him.
50-50 while reading this. I was surprised. I didn't know which way or like what was
How's he
going to
gonna get out
happen.
of this?
I believed him. I never doubted Sadeas.
That's true. You never did.
That's what I love about this chapter. It's building up Dalinar, Adolin, they're getting the plans, they're doing all this. And it's making you think that, all right, big battle's going to go. And nope, that's not what happens.
I never thought the battle was going to go because they were too paranoid. But I didn't think it would be this clean, what was happening.
It was nice, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Sadeas explains that he suspects that whomever tried to kill Elhokar switched the sapphires with broken ones in the shard plate and then cut the saddle while still in Elhokar's palace. That way, the saddle will wind up throwing Elhokar, and then he would be killed by the chasm feed once his shard plate, failed, making it look like just an unfortunate accident. Adolin's just shocked that Sadeas has proclaimed his father innocent. After Sadeas is done talking to everybody, Dalinar goes to him and thanks him. Sadeas says that this is why everyone is finding Dalinar tiresome. He's grown self-righteous and finds it hard to believe anyone else could do something honest. And Sadeas points out that if Dalinar really wanted Elhokar dead, then he would have just stabbed him with his shard blade and been done with it. The problem was that Elhokar just kept going on and on about the strap, so Sadeas had to take over the investigation in order to prove Dalinar innocent and get people just to shut up. He says that someone did try to kill Elhokar, though, and now that people aren't looking at Dalinar, they can try to find the actual culprit. Sadeas asks if the talk that's been going around about Dalinar wanting to leave the Shattered Plains is true. Dalinar replies that he did say that, but it's because he has grown tired of these plains. However, he has since given up on retreating. Instead, he wants to win. So Dalinar asks Sadeas to join him on a plateau assault. Sadeas says it won't work because the plains just aren't big enough for even one army, let alone 2. Dalinar suggests they can try new tactics. He brings up that Sadeas' bridges are faster, however, Dalinar's soldiers are stronger. So Sadeas, he could head there faster with even a little bit less army than he usually has, and just hold ground until Dalinar arrives, and then they could take down the Parshendi.
Does Dalinar yet know why Sadeas is so fast and efficient?
Yeah, him and his son talked about how they use bridgemen. I don't know if he knows the specifics. Yeah, I don't know if he knows the specifics of the targets, but he knows a lot of them die,
Yeah.
So anytime he's like, hey, anytime he talks about that as being like, oh, that's just Sadeas' way. Like, as much as I like and trust Dalinar, whenever he starts talking like that, I always get uneasy about him. Because I'm like, are you any different? Or is Kaladin right about like pretty much all nobles?
Mm. Yeah, because he doesn't approve of it. Because when Adolin wants to use Bridgman, he's like, I don't feel comfortable using Bridgman. We shouldn't do that.
Yeah, but is that like, a vegetarian who doesn't eat meat, but they're fine with everyone else around him doing it? Because that's not that noble when it comes to just sending men to their deaths. Like, that's just your beliefs,
I guess one step further. So he knows that a lot of people die, but does he think that Sadeas is like, well, that's just the cost, or like we're sending these guys out as targets? Does he know?
Yeah.
It's that.
Yeah. I assume it's the first one, but I don't think we've gotten any like specific evidence about it.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because the targets thing is it's just evil.
That's pretty evil.
And I would say with this plan, like he knows that Sadeas will be doing these bridge runs anyways. So those men will die. But if Dalinar joins him, then those men would be going into the bridge runs anyways. But this way, if they can join their armies, then they might be able to end the war earlier, and then that's less bridge runs that people would have to do in the long run.
I'm going to guess he's not thinking about the bridgemen as much as we would want in overall. That is not his main worry here.
He does have a
No,
lot on his plate.
It's not his main worry, but he's not using bridgemen for his army.
Yeah, well,
That's not
I
enough
don't
for
like
my
it.
hero. Is that what you're saying?
Okay, so when Kaladin rises up and he's got to slaughter all of the nobles who've been doing this, is Dalinar going to be rightfully on the chopping block? That's the question I have. Am I going to be like, no, he was a good guy? Or am I going to be like, well, I mean, you were right about all of them. Like, take all their heads.
Dalinar's definitely turning. I mean, you can tell from his past and how he was before. He was like all of Alethi, high society. They're warlike, prestige, all the political scheming and wealth and dominance. And now he's kind of like restraint, cooperation, moral leadership. He's definitely changing. So
Yeah, you're right.
Totally.
Long ago, he probably wouldn't have cared at all. So that's probably his natural state is just men die, you know?
Yeah, I mean, and we can see in a couple chapters from now, he starts to think about the people he's killing and remembering how when he had the thrill, it wouldn't really matter before. But
Yeah.
But will he change enough by the time Kaladin kills all of them?
Yep, that's the question. Because at this point,
Right?
if they killed Dalinar, I'd be like, oh, that's sad, but you're at war with these people basically. Like, I can't really judge you. But if Dalinar's like, no, Sadeas, this is fucked up, you can't do it, then I'd be like, Kaladin, don't kill him.
Yeah.
Joe, you
Now,
sound kind
Justin-
of perplexed that we're just assuming Kaladin's gonna slaughter all the nobles.
Kind of, yeah. Where's this? Kaladin's gonna go on a genocide and start killing everyone thing coming from.
He's gonna
Feels
get
like
a
it's where
shard
it's
blade.
going.
He's gonna have the power to do it, and he's gonna do it out of necessity in his mind.
It's us or them. That's
Now-
the big war.
Yep.
Now, Justin, what about Adolin? Would you be all right with Adolin being on the chopping block?
Adolin currently has no power, not technically. He will soon. Then we'll see.
One correction I'll
prefer
make
no
that
one
Sheta
was on the
said
chopping block, let me say.
that Sheta said earlier, Adolin never was saying that they should use bridge crews. That was Elhokar saying that Dalinar should. Adolin never brought that up.
I get them mixed up sometimes.
They're very different characters.
Well, they're young guys who talk to Dalinar. Yeah.
I don't know about that description.
Uncle, dad, same.
Yeah, same thing. King, just regular son, very similar.
Justin, don't forget, Sheta was the one that suggested that Dalinar and Yasna had a past relationship.
Oh God, no.
Yeah. Oh,
Okay.
yeah. That's a new
now
one.
he's trying to get with the mom.
That's why he's so
fucking-
weird around her. He's like, I don't want to.
Oh
already
God, no.
with your daughter.
No.
But if the
no,
both of you.
No.
This was all my fault this time. All right, so we continue, and Dalinar tells Sadeas that it could mean a shard blade for him. Dalinar points out that in the past, he himself has won 2 shard blades, but he is too slow most of the time in order to get to the plains in time to win more. If they work together, then he can win Sadeas a blade. Sadeas asks how they would split the gem hearts. Dalinar says that 2/3 of the gem hearts will go to Sadeas. And if they defeat a full shard bearer, then Sadeas will get the blade, but Dalinar will give the plate to Renarin. He says that if they start working together, then this could mean winning the war. If they were able to catch enough Parshendi on a large enough plateau, they could do enough damage to them to end the whole war. Sadeas agrees to the plan and tells Dalinar to send them the details later. And that's the end of that chapter.
Yay. Super
Yay.
best friends.
I don't think this is going to go well at all.
They're super best friends now.
That is not how you're supposed to do shard blade. That's not honorable.
Yeah, it is.
No, you're supposed to win them in battle. You're supposed to earn them.
You do. They earn it together and they share it.
Yeah.
Well, if you earn it, then it's yours. Then you can choose what to do with it afterwards.
No.
It
There's supposed to
it
be a
did say-
warrior culture.
it did say earlier in the book that Dalinar, these ones he had won before, he gave them to Elhokar in order to choose to who to give them to.
Shouldn't have done that. If you're gonna have an honorable war rule about when it's okay to murder people and take their knives, you gotta follow the rules. That's my opinion.
So does that mean Adolin should give up his shard plate?
If he didn't earn it,
'Cause
then yes.
That was that he got that through like his they mentioned before in the book he got it through like his mother or something like that.
Well, handing
Yeah.
them down, that's different.
How
I
is
don't
that
know
different?
what the rule is there. You're right. You're
In-
right. There should be an
these-
honorable fight every time. You should have to
No.
kill your own father to get it. You're right.
These
Sheta.
rules were made up like in the midst of everyone scrambling to get a shard plate and shard
Well, that's
blade.
your assumption. Yeah, you said.
So there's no rules. It's if you win it, it's yours fair and square. You can do whatever you want with it.
You'll do anything to protect the Alethi, Sheta. You're an Alethi
Mhm.
simp, aren't you?
Apologizer? I think they're trying their best right now. So
Mm-hmm.
Anything else from this chapter any of you want to go over?
No, I think I covered everything.
All right. So this chapter was called Gibbletish. So why do you believe that was chosen for the chapter title?
Because Hoyt's writing the book.
Hoyt's writing this book that we're reading right now.
Yep. I think he's just Brandon. If he could insert himself into there. But I think that his clue about words being mashed together might be something.
Gibbletish wasn't two words mashed together, was it? Or was it just gibberish he made up?
Yeah, it was gibberish. And
Maybe it's not gibberish. But yeah, as far as why the chapter's name, that I guess if no one's going to say anything, that's Hoyd or Wit's proposed name for himself. You could just call me Gibble.
yeah, it's his big reveal.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And then we'll move on to chapter 55, An Emerald Brome. So first thing we had some artwork. And in the artwork, there was like this like writing. And so that is what they call women's script. So that's what their writing looks like there.
Oh, is that why I couldn't read it? Because it was women's
Yes.
script?
Oh my god.
Because I was
So-
like, what the hell does this say?
What?
Yep. So I'm going to
Yeah,
put
like
the
this.
image here along with a translation for it.
But only
So pretty
Sheta
much at
can
the
read
top. So pretty much at the top, it's showing like these different like gems, and the writing says the cut and type of the gem determines what kind of spren are attracted to it and can be imprisoned in it. There must be
Ew.
thousands of possible combinations. And the bottom part showing this like knife sort of thing, which is called a pain knife. Once a spren is captured and the gem infused with Stormlight, the fabrial can be used in machines. The pain knife is used as a means of protection. Sharp blades pierce an attacker's clothes and cause crippling pain. Talks about this part where it's a removable outer covering to infuse fabrial with Stormlight. The bottom, it's pointing at the retractable blades cause crippling pain, and dial pushes blades to 4 set lengths.
Interesting.
It's a pretty
Spren-
big deal, in my opinion.
Spren
the
chapped
thing.
in gems. That's
Yeah,
interesting.
Yeah, that's huge.
Yeah,
Well, of course I could read it since it's in
Yeah,
one
Sheta
of
already knew what it said. Did they say that they have a whole different like way of doing language and spelling in the book? Like men actually just don't know how to read it?
Well, there's no men language, right?
I
For
guess you're
writing.
right. There wouldn't be.
I think pain knife is funny. It's like, oh, it's like a paring knife, but it's for when you want to inflict pain instead.
I'm just looking up the women's script. Designed by Isaac Stewart to look like waveforms. Neither Brandon nor Isaac can read the women's script without reference.
Yeah, I was gonna say it looks mirrored on the x-axis there. That's interesting.
Well,
Does
you
look
know,
like
Vorn is,
waveforms.
Vornism has a lot to do with symmetry.
Oh yeah, all the words and yeah, every time I come across something new, I try to think, is that a palindrome? Like Natin, Urathiru, keeps stuff like that comes up.
Interesting.
I really wonder with the cut and type determining what kind of spren are attracted to it, what would be the factor that attracts specific spren? Like, are you attracting like spren that are associated with different things in nature that are different colors and stuff? but then a flame sprint and emerald. That sounds fun to explore.
Mhm. Yeah, like I've said in White Sands, I'd be this person. Met the Ardents, like they're measuring the spren and trying
You're
to figure out
saying
how
you'd be a
everything works.
woman in this world? Is that what I'm hearing? Studying this
Yes,
stuff
I
instead of
would
fighting?
be. Yeah.
It could be an art, like Nick said, an ardent
Ardent.
can be a man doing that. Men
Yeah,
ardents can read.
It was the
Isn't
man and
Ardent
woman.
that many steps up from a woman in this world, Joe?
You know, at least I'd be happy.
Well, I'd be dead on the battlefield, so. This reminds me of when you'd grab random CDs for Monster Rancher and put them in to see what monster you'd get out of them.
That's your kind of experimenting.
Yeah. You'd have no idea what you're going to get. There's thousands of combinations here.
Yeah, anything could happen.
I remember playing that with Justin and his brother and just bringing over a bunch of DVDs and just having to go through until being like, all right, yep, here's the monster I want. I think like one of the best monsters you guys got was from like one of your sisters, like Mary Kate and Ashley movies. All right. So now we'll go to the epigraph. A woman sits and scratches out her own eyes. Daughter of kings and winds. The Vandal. Subject was a beggar of some renown, known for his elegant songs.
Nick, do you have any insights onto these that we have not said yet? Because this is the thing I'm most fascinated about.
Yeah, why we hear quotes before death. Yeah.
Are you as in the dark as we are?
I feel pretty in the dark. Like something seems to be taking over them, some entity, right? Must be causing them to speak. But what is that? And then what do all the words mean? Like maybe if we read them all together, we'll get something out. They even reading them all together, it still doesn't mean a lot.
Yeah. I feel like once we know, we're going to all feel very stupid for not putting it together.
Yeah, that's usually.
I would like to see a transcript of them all together and try to figure out what's the correlation and stuff, you know.
Well, we do know they're all within, they seem to be in order, at least the ones we've been given, and with all within a couple years. Yeah, I'm looking at a list of all of them.
Oh, like the people taking this are trying to put together some kind of story from it?
Well, they start at 1171, and we're like on 1173 now.
Oh, in order like that. I didn't notice that. That's actually really interesting.
Chronological, yeah. So they're not like all over the place, but some of them talk about like desolation, Everstorm. So it's stuff that humans don't really actually know about. The Broken One.
Yeah, somebody knows about it, it seems like. Or knew about it, maybe.
But it also sounds like things people might say when they die. Like this one, the very first one says, "You killed me. You killed me while the sun is hot. I die. I'm cold, mother. Why, you know."
Yeah, they started more normal, right? I wonder if some of them are just normal things people said.
Yeah, like
some are normal, but some seem like
Yeah, but they don't know what's what yet.
I wish to sleep.
Yeah, it's interesting that this is just them documenting these things. Like it could all be, be not the same. It could be wrong. Like not a real thing.
And then the last question: who is the one documenting these? If it is a single person, maybe
that's what I think. It's the Ardents or something. This line that the guy says to Dalinar makes me think that they know something that they're not sharing. Something they used to know before the religion stopped, like pretended to stop using magic.
I think the Ardents have a big secret that they're keeping. Like they are actually very powerful and probably part of the Illuminati that I was thinking of. You know,
wasn't it the She-Illuminati you were thinking of, Sheta?
Yeah, but Ardents are part of that, as we've said just now. I think just seeing the two Ardents who were studying the Spren, I could see them also having someone else studying these final words, you know.
Well, how would they be collecting them?
Oh,
they might be in
and
order.
The real questions here. Yeah, like someone dies on a battlefield. How would anyone know about it?
I imagine there's
and who's timing the amount of time before death?
That too.
How would anyone know? Yeah, so where are they getting this info?
Yeah, because
I
they're
have a
getting it from
theory.
all kinds of random people, right? You think maybe the Spren are grabbing it, and they're grabbing it from the Spren.
The Spren.
Mm-hmm. Like the Death
I
Spren, somebody's able to call upon them and
Oh,
collect their last words.
yeah.
Maybe they're not
Mhm.
on the battlefield grabbing people, because that does seem like somebody would probably notice if there's people going around grabbing last words all the time.
No,
Right.
No?
How
Huh?
often is someone around?
no. Or for me, I think it's some kind of travel, like how Dalinar goes in to his dream state, and he is there but not really there, experimenting or experiencing these things.
Hmm.
So chapter begins, Kaladin chapter, and it's been a week since Dunny's death. Bridge 4, they have finished a bridge run, and now, Kaladin's just standing and he's watching the battle unfold. They had arrived before the Parshendi, so it was an easy bridge run, but now it looks like Sadeas' army is being overrun by the Parshendi. And then Rock points out that another Alethi army has arrived. And Scar notes that it is Dalinar Kholin's army. Moash says that Dalinar doesn't use bridgemen, and he says that Dalinar is a true Light Eyes, a man of honor and oaths. But Kaladin says that he's seen plenty with that reputation, and they let him down every time. He tells them to ask him someday about Amaram. Scar says, "Oh, Amaram, the Shard Bearer? He's supposed to be on his way here." And he asks if Kaladin was there when he won his shards, but Kaladin says nobody was.
Sick burn.
That was very a sad moment for him. That was very quiet. Only he knew. That was very sad to me.
When he
That was
knew?
very close. That was very close to one of the saddest, darkest secrets that he had and stuff. That he's the only one in the world besides Amaram who knows what happened there. I just felt
Yeah.
very lonely at that point. Like
Yeah.
for him to have to answer those questions, being the only one
He's
who knows
coming
what
here.
happened.
That means we're going to get to see Kaladin and him have their fight to the death.
And they watch as Dalinar's army joins the battle. Sigil points out that Sadeas seemed to have brought less troops this time, so this might have been planned. And Kaladin notes that Dalinar has a different method to his assaults, because he watches as Dalinar and Adolin, they leap across the chasm and they begin the fight in order to draw attention towards them while their men get down their bridges. Moash wishes that he had been recruited into Dalinar's army instead. And Kaladin thinks about how Dalinar has a better reputation than even Amaram for honesty. But Kaladin just believes that reputation hides corruption. He does think, though, about how Adolin had protected that whore on the streets, and he seemed genuinely selfless. But Kaladin, he just casts aside those thoughts. He would not be taken in again.
See, jumping over yourself and causing yourself to be the distraction, that's the more honorable way to do the bridge crew strategies.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I wonder what he was thinking. Like they use different bridges, right? Like siege.
Yeah, they're these
Bridges,
big tower
yeah.
things that take forever
So,
to get there.
what was Kaladin thinking when he saw it? Like, oh, shit. Well, why can't? Damn it!
Yeah.
Why can't we use those?
Like, oh,
Those
that's
exist?
nice.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Must
and
be
everyone can
nice.
just hide behind them. No
Yeah.
one gets hurt.
Hmm.
Now I'm wondering if Kaladin does get his shard armor and they try to promote him and he says, "No, I'm going to stay on the bridge crew." And we just have him running the bridge on his own. And then trying to say, actually, this would be a good idea, where you just are like, we don't even need bridge crews. Have everyone with the armor be the ones who bring them over. Then no one will ever have to die.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe that's where things are going. Because the theme earlier of like how you can use the super weapons to build an outhouse and stuff and wondering why they're for fighting. I think that could actually tie in a bit.
And we cut a little bit later when they return to camp. Hishal has Bridge 4 go on to chasm duty immediately, since they got back so quickly, so they have time to do it.
Punished for being efficient.
So shitty.
Yeah.
So, while on this chasm duty, Kaladin, he manages to find an emerald brome in an officer's pouch along with some other spheres. And emerald brome, that is the highest, currency that they have. It's worth, what they say, like 2 months worth or 200 days worth of slave wages.
They're not slaves, Joe. Come on. They're bridge crew.
I think they're slaves.
Kaladin's a slave.
Oh yeah, Kaladin is a slave. I
sure a
forgot you have
slave.
to pay slaves in the Alethi culture. It said that
Yeah.
earlier. So it's
Kaladin
different than
is-
yeah.
And I think Lopin had slave brands on himself and maybe Scar.
I
But
can't
Moesh does
imagine
not.
slaves' wage is really that much. So I mean, 200 days is good, but it's not like a fortune, right? I mean, it's probably pocket change for some of the higher ups.
Yeah, they called it fortune to us, pocket change for them.
Yeah.
Mm.
Hey, I have a question. Do more valuable gems contain more stormlight or more power? Or do we not know? Maybe we don't.
I don't know if
we
it's
know, I
told
don't know.
us. All we know is that the reason why like certain gems are considered more valuable, like emerald, is because of what they're used to soul cast.
Ah, sure.
I don't know if it said anything about like the sizes relating to Stormlight. If it did, that would have been in a Zeth chapter probably.
Mm-hmm.
I imagine it would be since it's more powerful or bigger.
I would think so.
Yeah.
And Moash asks what they will do with this emerald brome, because he points out that they could use this to feed the wounded bridgemen and get medical supplies for months. Rock says it won't work because they are thoroughly searched as they leave the chasm. Moash says that he could swallow it, but Rock just tells him he'll choke on it.
Yeah, this is what I asked about. You said they were going to cover eventually.
And
Even
Kaladin,
cover my very next question which is, well, if you get it down and you shit it out, oh no, they thought.
yeah, because
You
Kaladin
think we're
notes
the
that,
only ones that thought that?
Yeah.
yep, even if he did manage to swallow it, there are always guards who are watching them in the latrine.
Well, don't excrement in the latrine. That would be my next thought.
Or back
If
up.
you
You don't
if
leave
you're gonna
until you
share-
do.
if you're willing to share the wealth with your men, I'm sure they wouldn't mind if they had to clean up a mess you made in the sleeping quarters. That's all
Yeah.
I'm saying.
There you go.
That would be
Good.
my
Gross.
thought and plan. If you could get that thing down your throat, of course. Which there's got to be at least one bridgeman who's had training in that.
I mean, Moesh said that. He's like, I could do it. I know I
He
can.
didn't say he'd had training in it.
Oh.
I am very experienced with this thing, says Rock.
Kaladin says they will bring the emerald brome back with the salvage and turn it in, because even if they manage to get out with it, they're slaves. They're never going to be able to spend an emerald brome. People will figure out what the hell are you doing with this.
Yeah, that's the problem.
However, he says they will find a way to keep the other spheres in the pouch. So, as Kaladin's trying to think of a way to get these spheres out, Maps asks Sigil if he could tell them a tale, since he's a world singer. Sigil is offended and says that he's not a storyteller. He tells about other cultures and lands and stuff. So Maps like, yeah, do that then.
Yeah, I don't fucking care. Just entertain me. I'm bored.
And then Layden asks him to tell them of Bright King Alizansi and the 100-ship fleet. And Sigil once again repeats that he's not just a storyteller. And Kaladin asks him if there is a place where people live in gouges in the ground. And Sigil says that is Cecil Melek's Dar, and it is the capital of Emul. It is said that it was named after Yezrien himself. Malop's confused about who Yezrien is, and Sigil says that, it's what they call the Stormfather in Alethkar. Or he's also known as Yezareza Elin, the King of the Heralds. And Sigil goes on and he explains about the city and the culture there. And he says there they worship Yezrien. But Tef jumps in and says the Heralds weren't gods. However, Sigil points out that the Emuli consider them differently. And Kaladin's surprised by what Sigil's description, because it matches with what he had seen in his vision when he was flying over Rashar. Sigil brings up about how the Emuli nobles prefer to fight using the spear instead of the sword. He also mentions that in his own kingdom, Azir, the bow is considered a noble weapon. And Kaladin picks up on what he just said and asks if the bridgemen had found any bows in what they had found. They hadn't. And right now he has them all then gather together spears, and they're going to set them aside. That way they can use them for practice later, and they can use them also when they eventually escape. When he's asked how they'll get it out, he says he'll figure out a way. And Scar gets annoyed because how Kaladin always says that he's just going to find a way to do something. And Moash then comes to Kaladin's defense, and that surprises Kaladin. And still, she goes over to Kaladin. She tells him that she has found some Parshendi bodies. When he asks if they have bows, she says that she thinks she saw some. So the bridgemen, they go to the Parshendi bodies, and once they're there, when Kaladin begins moving them, Shen gets upset and he shows some uncharacteristic passion. Lopin and Rock explain that Shen has always been very protective of the Parshendi bodies in the past. And Sigil says that they are all like that. The Parshmen are allowed to care for their own dead, and they get irate if anyone else handles the bodies.
That's
And this makes-
suspicious to me.
It's
Well,
I just
very.
assumed it was their customs that they're very
Yeah.
passionate about.
But that they have
but,
customs. Yeah.
Oh, right.
Oh.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
And it's
for me-
specifically about the dead and getting rid of them. For you, what?
I don't know. For me, it's just the Parshmen have been described as like almost not all there.
Mm-hmm.
Like they're not even on unless they're like told to do something specific. So
Mhm.
how did they learn to feel that when
Mhm.
where did they learn to feel angry or irritated about that?
Or to
That's
have
something-
customs in the first place.
Yeah, you
care
have to
or
learn
think about
customs.
anything.
Yeah.
The way they write
Like-
off the Parshendi is just being like robot butlers. I'm like, you guys, you're talking about cutting apart the Spren. You guys should be cutting apart the Parshendi and learning about
Yeah,
them. These
and-
things are.
Mm-hmm.
I know some of that's coming in the next chapter, but that upset me that they just know so little, and it would be so easy to figure a little bit out.
Mhm.
But I think
Yeah.
that's
That's-
something to do with all the men are warriors,
Mhm.
and they encounter them on the plateaus. The women
Yeah.
never do, so the women never get a chance to study them.
I don't know if this is sexist or not, but I think on average it's more likely for a male to start cutting a body open than a female just for the fuck of it, which is how we learn everything in the first place, like just for almost no reason. And so separating out the scholars and the warriors like this, I feel like you lose a lot of crossover that each gender would kind of provide the other a little bit on average. So
And you get people who go into war and they don't ask questions because they're like, that's not
Mhm.
my job. I'm just
Right.
here to
Mhm.
kill things,
Or
then the women hear about it and they're like, oh, okay, well, that makes sense for this reason. But you don't have somebody like Dalinar just getting curious later and thinking about actually doing that on average.
and not just
Mhm.
researching them and everything, but how they fight and how to beat them and stuff,
Mm-hmm.
which would obviously help. But that's next chapter.
And
Well,
what
never been a
Kaladin
fan
notes,
of Alethi culture personally, so
and what Kaladin notes here with the Shen and the Parchment getting upset, it is similar to what we've seen in a past Dalinar chapter where he talked about how he would like kick the Parshendi bodies because they would get so upset in battle and focus on
that's
Yeah.
true. Yeah.
Yeah. Interesting. Too many questions.
all this, it makes Kaladin wonder about something. And then Kaladin has Teft hold Shen back while the others scavenge the bodies. But he tells them to still be respectful of the bodies because it does upset Shen. And Sigil finds Kaladin a bow while Maps finds him a bowstring. And Kaladin asks if anyone has used a bow, but none of them have. And Rock just says, it's easy. You just take bow, pull string, and let go. As they head back, Kaladin thinks about the Parshendi and how Shen reacted, and thinks he could use that. It would be a risk, and he has already been sentenced once for upsetting the balance of chasm battles, so he wonders if he should risk it.
Yeah. What the hell is he gonna do? I want to see that so bad.
What's he thinking? Yeah.
Yeah.
What's desecrating Parshendi bodies on the plateau just to rile them up and get them to mess
That'd
up
be
their
a good
strategy
idea.
or something?
I also wonder if you put him out first, their Parshendi guy, are they going to get less arrows at them?
Oh, interesting.
And like, should they be having Parshmen be bridgemen?
Yeah, like testing out that theory. Like,
Mm-hmm.
then they might hesitate, and then that could be your shield. Is that
Mm-hmm.
yeah?
Or even better, you tie a bunch of Parshendi to the top of your bridge while they're alive, and you just run out with the bridge pointed at them. Oh no, then they wouldn't
But-
shoot them.
Well, then how do you climb over the bridge? You just got to step on everyone?
You just crush them.
Oh,
Yeah.
that'll
Oh,
piss him
no.
off. Yeah.
So what you do is you use the bridge towers and you cover those in Parshendi. I think
At
I'm
this
missing
point-
the
Strap some Parshendi to yourself as armor, right? At that
yeah
point.
yeah. That's
Oh my
probably the right
gosh.
way to do it.
Yeah, they come back with their next hoard of stuff, and it's just some Parshendi body parts. And they're
Hmm.
like,
Oh, just
we gotta
body
do.
parts. You're right.
Yeah.
I thought we were
Oh
talking about
God.
live ones.
Yeah, I
Oh no,
was.
there's a
That got
bunch of
dark.
scattered in the chasms. Free armor.
Yep, free armor.
Hmm.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, they have their own armor too.
Yeah, they even
Can
have
you
their.
peel that off and use it? Can you just wear it for yourself? I wonder.
Ugh,
Oof.
That I do actually wonder.
I
Hmm.
thought that
Like how.
too, but like it would be like a turtle shell, but you'd wear it on your head. But will they still count that as a Parshendi body if it's kind of like just like a nail and not like an arm?
Yeah, we don't know yet, but hopefully we'll find out next chapter
Hmm.
when all this happens.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so then bridge 4, they reach a spot where there's a bridge above them. And Kaladin says that what they'll do is they'll tie the pouch of spheres to the arrow and shoot up into the bridge. On their next bridge run, Lopin, he's going to grab the arrow, take the spheres. And so he's asking the men, all right, who's going to do this? And none of them really want to try and mess it up. So they figured, oh, we'll try some practice shots beforehand. Even that, they don't want to risk it too much because if they miss the bridge, it's going to wind up just going up the side and some guard's just going to see an arrow just being shot up from the chasm and figure out something's up. Lopin suggests that, they could use a rope, tie it down and have stuff on there, then they could like pull it up. And he says that, he could get a rope from one of his cousins. When he's asked how many cousins he has, Lopin just says you can never have too many cousins.
One of those. Everyone's my cousin.
Oh, yeah. He seems like the I know a guy type of character.
Yeah, very useful.
So Teft is going to be the one, to practice with the arrow to see if he can shoot the bridge, but he doesn't seem too confident with it. And at this point, Rock just gets annoyed and takes the bow from him. And Rock, he does a practice shot with the bow down the chasm. Afterwards, he says, all right, we can put 5 spheres in the pouch. And it's even crazier to do it with 5. So it's Rock's getting the thing ready. Scar says that, this is stealing, and he worries that someone might inform on gas to them, and even a few eyes turn over to Shen. Drahe asks if they should set up a watch, but Kaladin says no. They can't waste their energy spying on each other. When Syl asks Kaladin if he wants her to watch the others, though, Kaladin does nod. Better to be safe than sorry. So Rock, he puts the pouch of spheres on the arrow, points it up, shoots it into the bridge, hits the perfect spot. Not too far in, so Lopin can't reach it. And Rock, when he gives Kaladin back the bow, he says he will shoot a bridge, but he still will not fight. Kaladin asks how he learned how to shoot a bow, and Rock says that it is a secret. And Kaladin asks Lopin if he can really get the rope, and Lopin says that his cousin has never failed him yet. And that's the end of the chapter.
Guys who talk like that, I never trust them because anytime you try to get help from somebody who they're like, oh, I know a guy, he's very trustworthy, they never are. So I don't trust this
Yeah,
at
they
all.
betray you.
Not they betray you. No, I mean
Just-
in real life. They just never get back to you or just some bullshit.
But this is Lopin's cousin.
Yeah, still. That's just my experience with helpful I know a guy types.
Or someone will know a guy, but they don't actually know how much like some sort of work costs. It's like all of a sudden you're somebody where, yeah, I work on cars. Oh, hey, my buddy needs his car fixed. I told him, yeah, you can do it for like, $100. What does he need
$100,
done?
jeez.
He needs a new engine in there. Why would you tell him $100?
Dude, that's a steal.
Come on, you're my
Nice.
cousin.
Yeah.
Help me out.
You're my cousin. This is some guy I kind of know. Give him a hand.
It's like it's some sort of meme or something I saw where it's some sort of text message thing that somebody had with their father. Or like the father's like, hey, my buddy needs like a website made, and so I told him that you'll do it. Told him that'll cost him $500. And the son's just
Yeah.
asking. Son asks, wait, what size is it? Oh, normal screen size.
Yikes.
So anything about this chapter any of you want to discuss?
I thought it was interesting. They're constantly becoming more of a group and more cohesive and trusting and everything. But then, for the first time, someone brought up, "Hey, someone could betray us.
I'm deathly afraid of somebody betraying them, especially some new last addition to the team.
Like all these talking characters, I feel like we can trust at least, yeah, like all the
Mhm.
ones who were there from the beginning. But is there anyone who's recently joined? Or, I mean, they get new members of their crew, right? When someone dies.
But they
So,
don't get as many as they used to, which
yeah.
is kind of a blessing in disguise.
But they should have
Yeah.
around 30 most of the time.
That I
They-
don't remember.
I think a full bridge crew would be about 40, but they could still run a bridge with like 25 if necessary.
Yeah, they were just talking about how when Gaz was distributing the new recruits, how like, hey, we have only 28 or 38 or something.
And the woman in charge was like, no, they don't get any. They just get this Parshendi
Yeah,
because she
yeah.
wants them to die.
So, yeah, like you said, someone dies and then some newcomers comes on like, hey, by the way, we're gonna escape. You good?
Yeah, and he's like, hey, maybe I could
don't know
turn
you
these guys
guys.
in to get some lenience or something, or get
Yeah,
out of
for
being a
sure.
bridge crew. Like, there's so many reasons that you would betray a bunch of guys you don't know if you just joined them that day.
Yeah, you weren't there from day one. I am going to be so heartbroken if Lopin betrays them.
You think it'll be Lopin? That's like
Yeah.
the last guy I suspect.
Because
So
he
nice.
is so likable. He's
Yeah.
nice, he's cool, he's
Yeah.
cute. Like he's a little cartoon guy. You wouldn't expect him to do something like
When
that.
you're gonna
but
find out this cousin he's talking about is Sadeas,
yeah.
and he's
I
like, "Yeah, I'll
don't
get you
want
enough
that.
rope, enough to hang yourself with." Is that what
Just
he's saying?
enough to hang yourself with. Oh no. Please don't do that to me.
I will be very surprised by that. So,
All right. So this chapter was called An Emerald Brome. So why do you believe that was chosen for the chapter title?
Because they
because
found
they
one.
found an emerald brome. I feel
Is
like
that
I'm in
right?
fucking kindergarten when you ask.
Yeah,
those
is that right,
questions.
teacher?
Well, yes, but the thing is, yeah, an Emerald Brome's in there. Why do you believe out of everything that's why that was chosen for the chapter title?
Because they
Because
can't use it. It represents something beyond their grasp.
because it's what they have to sacrifice. It represents what they are sacrificing to be able to get away with what they're doing.
I think that, and this is maybe more of a theories thing, but I think that they're going to be able to use it, or intentionally or unintentionally, Kaladin is going to be able to use the Stormlight in it for something big.
Ooh.
If just these little spears does this much, I am curious how much something much bigger could potentially do.
I mean, they're obviously holding on to it, right?
Oh.
When they're down there.
Yeah. I never thought of using it.
Well, they
Like
were going to
power.
turn it in, weren't they?
Yeah.
Oh, right, I
Yeah.
suppose. Yeah, that's
to
what he
make
said.
it
We got
less
to turn it in.
suspicious that they're going to steal.
Yeah, they were like, here's this. We found it. Reluctantly, we're giving it up. But then
And they'll get a small prize for it.
Well, let's see if they do, I guess.
All right, so we'll go on to our third chapter we read today, chapter 56, That Storming Book. Epigraph. Light grows so distant. The storm never stops. I am broken, and all around me have died. I weep for the end of all things. He has won. Oh, he has beaten us. Subject? A Thalen sailor.
Now, here's a great example of how no one could have been around to record that. Because wow, shoot, I guess I'm wrong. He said everyone around me is dead, but I forgot that that's not him saying it. That's just some.
Yeah, we don't know.
Yeah, if it was him saying it.
that's true, though. That
Never
is an
mind.
isolated thing if he was at sea.
Yeah, no, he probably isn't by himself. Just saying things.
I think that's, if these are them capturing some things that are happened long ago or are yet to come or are beyond all, that's one of the most horrifying things I would not want to hear.
All right, so it's Dalinar again, and this one starts, he's already in the middle of a battle. So Dalinar's fighting the Parshendi while on top of Gallant, and the thrill pulses within him. He hasn't experienced the weakness again since that one time on the battlefield. As he is fighting, he notices that the pair of the Parshendi always fight in tend to be one with a beard and one that doesn't have a beard. He figures that it's an apprenticeship sort of thing, but then he notices the cheek structure and thinks that the ones without beards are women. The Parshendi and their group, they wind up breaking, and Dalinar feels the thrill retreat. And he gives Gallant over to Teleb and to have someone run him to the back lines. And Dalinar, he inspects the Parshendi bodies more. And they had never brought the bodies back after battles, so they had never really investigated them.
How do you never bring bodies back after battles ever? That's crazy to me.
It's insane that
It's in the middle
nobody,
of nowhere.
nobody
It
cares
doesn't
enough.
matter. You'd want to cut open one. These are not a curious people.
Mm-hmm.
They have their
I think it just
priorities.
shows,
Yeah.
just kind of shows how little they think of the Parshendi. They just think they're savages, so it's like, we don't need to try to learn anything.
No,
They're nobodies.
I know from a story mode, but with all the people in this world, I have a hard time believing nobody has brought one back or said to bring one back. That just seems a bit beyond for me. I think I had
think
this
a lot-
same complaint in a previous book when they hadn't cut some kind of specific person open ever. You're always going to have
was
at least one science-minded person.
The one you were complaining about was nobody investigating the bodies of the Koloss.
That was it, the Koloss. Yeah.
This one, I think it's a little bit easier to believe, just because the people that are, you don't have the scientists out there in the battle. The people that are out there in the battle are all the just fight hungry Alethi.
Right. They're not going to care. And if any of them did start dragging a body back, I'm sure someone higher up would be like, "What are you doing? Stop that."
Like if you had like Yasna out there on the battlefield, yeah, she probably would.
This is why I want to get Yasna on the battlefield so goddamn bad.
Just soul cast them all. Seems easy enough.
Well,
I think
you can't. Yeah, but you can't really turn them back. If you turn one into rock, then you can't really dissect
then
it
you can't.
afterwards.
Yeah, dang it. You're right.
Then you break it open, and it's just a rock shaped like a Parshendi.
Perfectly preserved.
Justin, I think one of the biggest reasons they don't bother to investigate the Parshendi is that they assume that they are the same as the ones they have at home as servants, and that they just kind of like, oh, we don't need to know any more than that,
That, and I also think they assume that they're like them in a way, which I think is a theme in this book, because they talk about all these other cultures and they don't even act like other cultures exist here, They act like they're the whole world basically here. So I think they assume the Parshendi are just the same. So there's nothing to look into or research, either.
And Dalinar, though, he chides himself because he's supposed to be killing them, not analyzing their culture. And he goes back into battle.
Oh, yeah. I'm sorry. That too. It's also looked down upon to even think about things as a male, right? Like, you're not supposed to read, you're not supposed to do anything. So somebody who sits there and they don't trust doctors that much either, like somebody who actually tries to think ideas is probably like, what's with that guy? He's weird.
He's a weirdo asking
Yeah.
these questions.
Yeah. What do you mean asking questions about sprint and shit? Nick, get out there on the battlefield.
Yes, sir.
Oh, it's funny.
Well, the ones that weren't really trusting doctors were like the people in Hearthstone. I think the people, if you're going into if you're in capital cities like Kolinar and the army, you'd trust surgeons more than the more, I guess,
but
simple
what kind of a
folk
Lethe
easily.
man becomes a surgeon? That's what I assume people feel. Like, yeah, you need them, but are you gonna think of them the same way you would think of a soldier or a fighter of some kind? Yeah. Like, what man does not seek the glory of battle? That would make me somewhat distrustful. At least I'd think there's something of a coward, probably.
As he is killing the Parshendi, he is hit once again by the nausea. He thinks the Parshendi deserve respect, not glee, while killing them. And Dalinar, he thinks to the times when the thrill was the strongest, which was during the time when him and Gavilar had subdued the High Princes. Once, the thirst of battle had nearly led Dalinar to attack Gavilar. He had remembered that day. He remembered the jealousy they had that day when Gavilar was the only worthy opponent he could see, and he was also the man who had won Navani's hand, and the jealousy had almost consumed him. He goes back to where he's at now, and Dalinar, he felt hollow, but he seized the thrill and continued battling. And then Dalinar notices that another Parshendi army is coming and is about to hit Sadeas from the back. Dalinar realizes that they know so little about the Parshendi. The Alethi had changed their tactics, so that now the Parshendi have done the same, and they have arrived with a second army of their own.
Which is pretty huge, right? Showing they can think, they're watching their strategy, and then they're adapting and like counterattacking.
And that they were specifically holding back. They weren't running out mindlessly.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's the other thing that he mentions, that if they've had this much, double the army, why have they been holding back this whole time?
Mhm.
It makes me wonder, is that even their whole army or still part of it? And then also, what is their goal if they could perform better with just sending their entire army every time? Why wouldn't they?
There's a lot of theories you could come up with for that.
And that other army must have been like ready to go in reserves because it came out quick. Interesting.
Dalinar calls for Gallant and gets on him, and he tells his honor guard to follow if they can, and to also send a runner to Adolin to tell him that he has command of their army. And Dalinar goes ahead and he fights his way through the Parshendi towards Sadeas. It was time to let the Blackthorn loose. And we get this whole big section with him just plowing through the Parshendi, killing them, and just keeps going. And Dalinar, he takes hits, but he manages to fight all the way to Sadeas, who's down on the ground, his armor's severely leaking Stormlight. So Dalinar stands over Sadeas, and he fights off the surrounding Parshendi. He killed, and the thrill rose inside him. Dalinar, he's also getting hit while he's defending them, and he could feel a breeze on his back through the cracks in his shard plate. But Dalinar could not fall here. He had to know if he was mad or not. Eventually, Adolin breaks through, and he's followed by the Cobalt Guard. And Adolin asks what could have made Dalinar pull a stunt like that. And Dalinar says it was the knowledge that Adolin could handle the army if he fell. And Adolin tells him that the Parshendi are routed, and the only ones left were the ones that were surrounding Dalinar and Sadeas. So, battle's done. Sadeas gets out of his armor because it's pretty much unusable right now with how broken it is. And Sadeas goes over to Dalinar and shouts, "We've won again!" And Sadeas also shouts that tonight his soldiers will feast like they were all light eyes.
Bridgman too?
They aren't soldiers.
Oh, well, there you go.
And Sadeas says that he should be dead and asks Dalinar, "Where was your honor guard?" Dalinar says he had to leave them behind in order to get to Sadeas on time. Dalinar explains that you do not abandon your allies on the field, not unless there's no recourse. It is one of the codes.
You mean like Bridgman?
They're not.
Yeah.
And Sadeas says that honor of his is going to get him killed someday. And Dalinar says that if he dies, then at least he'll have done so living his life right. It's the destination that matters, not how one arrives. He explains that it's from the Way of Kings. And Sadeas says that storming book. Dalinar points out that book saved Sadeas' life today, and Dalinar is starting to see what Gavilar saw in it. Sadeas says that perhaps he will let Dalinar tell him what he means. He would like to understand his old friend again.
No.
After Sadeas leaves, Dalinar looks back and sees the dozens, perhaps hundreds of dead Parshendi, and is shocked that he is the one that did that. In his youth, it wouldn't have affected him, but now he found himself revolted. And he thinks that Sadeas would need luck to understand him, because he is having trouble understanding himself. And that's the end of the chapter.
Well, that is quite a contrast. You get a nice feeling of save your friends, risk your life for your buddies and your allies and stuff. And then you cut immediately to, yes, by slaughtering hundreds of people, like the warm feeling you get of being nice is suddenly not nice at all. So I wonder, he wants to follow the Way of Kings, but is this right? Is that the right way to do it? Would this be correct according to the book?
Like I said, I've always thought that the book was a code for fighting a specific enemy. And when you're fighting like monsters who want to destroy your entire world, then you're happy to kill all of them. But when you're just fighting men over land, it doesn't have the same allure.
I wondered if that was happening, because he's feeling the thrill when has a noble feeling of saving Sadeas, but then when he starts to think that he doesn't why is he doing this? Then he started to get nauseous about it,
Mm-hmm.
So I wonder if, you know, the intention of your killing and stuff will either feed the thrill or feed your, make you nauseous.
Anything else about this chapter either of you three want to talk about?
I'm glad they're super best friends again.
Super best friends.
hmm It was always
Sheta,
sad
how
that
do
they
you
fought.
square, in your mind, how do you square the idea of Kaladin and the bridge crew giving the worst life possible with Sadeas being, by the narrative, a good guy?
I think everyone is in this book is kind of blinded to what they know and uh, what place they hold in this world. They kind of just do what is expected of them and not think too much outside of that. So that's how I justify, I guess, Sadeas's, because his priorities being a light eyes lord is very different, and he has to
Yeah, but
prioritize those.
couldn't you make that argument for every character ever and every human in all of history for any evil act?
Yeah, it's not right, but it's just kind of that's why it happens.
Yeah, but you talk about Sadeas as if he is going to be like he's one of the good guys, like by a simple good guy, bad guy kind of thing, not like he's
Well,
just morally neutral.
I guess how I see this world is it's flawed and broken, and like everyone is missing a key element to being their best person and stuff.
Couldn't
So
you say it's flawed and broken due to men like Sadeas?
no, because we see it in Dalinar. Once his eyes are open to the book and to like these
Okay,
things, he
okay.
starts to see how wrong they've been.
Okay, so
So
about how
Sadeas,
Dalinar used to be basically a bad guy murderer, and now
Mhm,
he's okay. I get that. That's basically what
yeah,
I was asking.
yeah, they just need to see and learn what the lost knowledge that is floating around, but nobody remembers.
All right. So this chapter was called That Storming Book. So why do you believe that was chosen for a chapter title?
It's like that dang cat.
Sadeas said that.
That's true. He did. That's some good insight.
Mm-hmm. Been very
He did say
insightful.
that.
All right. Anything else about any of the chapters we read that any of you want to go over?
I like how the battles they're not really battles. It's kind of like a big game of capture the flag, but
Hmm.
so
Yeah,
I think it's
you could make a video game out of this pretty easily, huh?
yeah, and the battles don't have to last very long too, because normally a battle like this could last hours and hours, but it's like you get the flag and you take it away and then you're done.
Yeah, everyone just leaves.
Yeah, your
Like,
goal
oh,
is
they
not
got
to,
it. Yeah.
Yeah.
it helps to kill the opponent, but your goal isn't to wipe out the opponent or make them.
Hmm.
It's
That's
interesting.
good. Never
Well,
thought of that.
Dalinar's kind of is, because even this last chapter, they were saying, like, yeah, we could get the gem hard, but we're holding off on that. That way we could try to take down as much Parshendi as we can.
Well, yeah, I
Yeah,
guess to
but
make
he wants to win.
Yeah, he's trying to play a
future
different
runs
game than
easier.
what they're playing.
Mhm.
All right. So we'll go over to our theories and predictions segment. So, I guess first question I'll ask, so now Sadeas is convinced that somebody did try to kill Elhokar. So I'll ask you, who do you think tried to kill Elhokar?
Hmm.
I'm gonna be honest. I think it was Sadeas trying to frame Dalinar, and this is all his big way to put himself into a position where he's less suspicious as trying to set him up. I still don't trust Sadeas.
You don't trust Sadeas?
Mm-mm.
Or like in a position to look, I saved you.
Mm-hmm. A position where
Ah,
no one is going to suspect that he is doing whatever he's doing to move against him.
yeah,
All
because
Interesting.
he did
now,
here,
oh,
all he did was agree to work with Dalinar to try to get some shard armor. There's nothing friendly or noble about this necessarily.
yeah, and you've got Adolin not trusting Sadeas at all for that whole
Hmm.
time. Now he's kind of like, well, I guess my theory is wrong, and get him off his back and stuff.
Hmm.
Actually, Sadeas, he's trying to win a shard blade. He already has shard
Oh yeah,
plate.
you're right. You're right. Same difference, but I hear you.
Man, is the brother ever gonna get a shard, shard plate?
Well,
I
that's
think
my
they.
second theory is that he did it.
Mm.
The
However,
brother?
I don't have a reason for why I think that. That's just a gut feel. I have absolutely no evidence for that.
I do feel like the brother has something with him, some kind of secret. Not that he's a secret villain, but maybe he's also gay.
Mm-hmm. No, it's gonna be like I
Wait,
lost my
what
train
did
of
Sheta
thought.
just say?
Don't even inquire further.
No, Sheta, what did you say? I couldn't hear you.
I said that
Liar.
his secret is he's also gay and doesn't know how to come
Renarin?
out. Yeah, Renarin.
What's your evidence for that?
Well, he's not like other boys. He's kind of more reserved and thoughtful, and everyone calls him weak and stuff. And kind of like he's weird. Like they call him weird and I don't remember the word they called him, but I think that could be his secret. But then, then Adolin and Sadeas, if they're also gay, that wouldn't make sense.
That
Let
wouldn't
it
make
go,
sense.
Sheta. Sadeas has a hot wife. It's over.
Yeah,
Your
a beard.
theory is over.
You know who has the best beards? Or the hottest wives?
Stop, dear God.
What's that noise?
That was me at the end of my rope about your no evidence Sadeas and Dalinar's son
In
shipping.
fact, the hotter his wife, the more suspicious I am.
Mhm.
Why is he frequenting a lot of these, whorehouses if he has such a hot wife?
We don't even know if that was true. That could have been something that Wit just made up to make fun of him.
He blushed.
Because he got insulted.
He blushed because he's like, "What do you know about my trips to those houses?"
Okay, well, why does he always devolve into Sadeas Adolin? Oh, goes off of what we were talking about earlier. Will Dalinar and Sadeas win Sadeas a shard blade? Will Sadeas get a shard blade? That's the question. Will he get a shard blade?
I thought they won one like
Yes.
every time they fought. Is that not true?
No. The battles
Oh,
are
they
for
just
gem hearts.
Okay.
In order to
It's only if they come
to win
across one, right?
yeah, they have to fight
Okay.
a shard bearer.
This would be a fun video game. You're like, oh, there's a shard bearer, and then like the whole team goes and tries to beat it.
Nick, Justin, do you
Oh
believe
yeah, yeah.
Sadeas will?
I'm sorry, I need to say every single time Sheeta is like talking about these theories and you ask for evidence, I always think of this clip, not the one there. This clip. Every single time, Shady, you start saying your theories, I think of this clip.
My source is that I made it the F up. Is
Yes,
that it?
every single time. It drives me nuts.
What is that from?
Metal Gear Solid.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. I'm not presenting it like it's 100%. I'm just throwing thoughts out there to kind of get your mind going about stuff that could
Oh
happen.
yeah, you're getting it going. That's for sure.
Even though I love Sadeas, I also felt the same as you, Justin, where now I'm starting to be suspicious of him.
Now you're starting to be suspicious. All the evil shit he does before, it's not what makes him suspicious.
I think he'll get
It's
the
just-
shard blade. He'll make him just that much scarier and more threatening
So you also
when
don't
he's
trust
revealed as the villain.
Yeah, see? Like, he has a lot to benefit from teaming up with Dalinar.
him.
And I just think this whole story of him going above and beyond to clear Dalinar's name, it's like, what are you in love with him? Like, why are you working so hard? Or, unless it was some kind of weird. I think people who do above and beyond things are really shady and stuff. Like, what's the motive there?
What if what he said is on the level and it's just as simple as him feeling that he likes
wants
them,
to be
like they're
nice?
friends? No, not he wants to be nice, but he recognizes that the king is getting paranoid and he's worried where this is going to go. And he sees that Dalinar is doing a horrible job clearing his name.
Mm.
Well, the excuse he gave was believable. That
Mhm.
if we got everyone off his back, maybe they'd find the real culprit.
Yep, that too. Yeah, there's a lot of pragmatic and friendship reasons. I don't distrust him just for that. I just distrust him because of the type of man I know he is because of the Bridgeman. I will never be able to trust a guy who uses that. It's too cold. Like to just like cannon fodder isn't really like at least when people send in cannon fodder, they pretend. They give them guns, to at least pretend that they have a chance to survive. To specifically not allow them to survive and just keep like how many get killed a month, It's just too much in my opinion.
Mhm.
A man like that, I don't think he values human life very much in the same way that somebody like Dalinar now seems to, though he didn't used to.
We'll just open it up for open theory time. Open predictions. Go ahead.
I think at some point they'll encounter a chasm fiend. I think in the chasm duty.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's just been talked about how chasm duty is so dangerous because and the only reason it's dangerous, they could find a chasm fiend or I guess a flood, right?
Mm-hmm.
But
Mhm.
I would think it'd be more common. They've been down there for how long and haven't seen one. It's just probably going to happen.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it sounds
Yeah.
like chasm duty isn't that bad at all. You just like shoot the shit
It's
with
kinda
your
fun.
buddies, and yeah,
Just dicking
Yeah.
around.
no one's watching you.
The
Yeah,
storm is a death sentence, though.
Yes.
yeah, but that could be kind of fun too.
To die in a flood.
Like run away.
Run away. There's no run away.
Like when you run from the waves on a beach and stuff.
If a
Just like
storm
that.
comes through,
That's like what-
if a storm comes through, that could be the time that Kaladin uses the Emerald Sphere and like miraculously keeps everyone alive against all possibility. And then when they climb out, the whole army's like, what? And that's when he becomes an even more messianic figure.
Yeah, I guess that seems more likely than using it to somehow fend off a chasm fiend.
I think that it sounds more believable to use it to fight the Chasm Fiend somehow. Because I don't know that I even believe you could survive the storm even with 1,000,000 of those spheres. It just sounds so terrible.
The storm is the god, so I don't unless they all go into Shadesmar or something.
Oh, is that how you think they survived the storm, Sheta?
Yeah,
You've never said that.
but that's where he went.
What do you mean?
That's where Kaladin went when he was in the storm. He went to Shadesmar.
Did he?
Yes, that is not confirmed. I have never heard you say this.
Oh,
'Cause
yeah.
It seemed like he was just going around just the lands that exist in this realm. The Shadesmar was all about like little beads and sun. and
Oh,
fire.
this is when he survived, is what I was thinking,
Yeah, you've
Oh,
never told us this. You just said it as if it's a known fact.
Because all of a sudden it's that hush comes over and it's all dark. That's what I'm thinking.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I like that theory. I do.
Sorry, I don't say everything I think of because I don't
That's
want
your
to.
job. Your
Is
job
that-
on here is to say everything you think of.
Is that when the storm stopped and he saw the face?
Yeah,
Or
it's
at a
that
different
part.
point?
Yeah,
I'm
when
also-
he's tied up and left for dead. Yeah.
I have a note also that a big disembodied face in the sky reminds me a lot of White Sand. Might not be
That's true.
related, but it is, it's happened twice.
That god vacationing over here.
Like, what's going on over here?
It's so dry there. He's got to come
Let me
here to
just
get a bath.
peek
No, they
over.
got water there.
What were you saying when you brought that up, Nick?
When I
What did you
brought
say?
up, that they would find a chasm fiend
Oh yeah.
during chasm duty.
I like that they have started to store stuff down there. Like I really wanted them to do that for some reason. Like hide the weapons so that they won't have to like do that next time and stuff when they're training. So I think like we were saying, how it's kind of fun. Like they have a lot of freedom down there. I mean, they can
As long as they get their job done.
yeah,
All
they're
they
not
have to
gonna
worry
be
about
questioned that
is
hard.
They're picking through corpses.
Yeah, but you can find a lot of cool stuff and
You don't get to
useful
keep
stuff,
it.
you know. Yeah, but they are trying to keep it, you know. And they get to know what they find, you know, like they're hiding a couple spears, they're hiding a couple gems, you know, like you can plan a lot of stuff. It's kind of like a prison break where I like where whatever freedom or downtime you have, you can plan your prison break in that
Mhm.
time, you know.
True.
Yeah,
It
that
would
I
be
get.
a tough time planning their breakout, doing any other job.
Mhm.
Mhm. Like what are you gonna do? Washing pots, you know, not as much. The potential is there. That's what it is.
Well, I don't have any
Mhm.
more predictions. I just have a lot of thoughts and notes
I want to
randomly.
hear.
Yeah, okay. Um, from before the Yasna and the Soulcaster. So like I had really thought Yasna was just always so smart, so many steps ahead of everyone, so I figured she knew about all that and like either switched the Soulcaster back or fixed the broken one. And then you said she casted the jam, and I thought, oh, that's gotta be it. But didn't she list all of the elements you could soulcast once? Like blood, crystal, smoke.
Mm,
Was that
I don't
listed
remember.
once? Did we get a full list,
And was
Joe?
jam not on there?
Yeah, Joe,
Like
that's to you because
Is
I don't
is
remember.
vinegar? Can
Jam
you
did.
soulcast to vinegar? Is that one of them?
food is though, right? You can still cast
You can
food.
soulcast food. Oh, yeah, vinegar's
I,
food-ish.
I need to look it up. It's Shalon had said that her soulcaster was kind of set to 3 that it's better at. You can soulcast other things, just those are the ones that it's better at.
Oh, for some reason I thought she had like a full list.
No,
Yeah,
it's
that
because
seems
I
I
think
don't know.
because with Yasna, because you have smoke was one she did a lot. You had crystal because she turned things into crystal, and probably fire. Well, those are the 3 that she used in the alley. So those are the 3 that her soulcaster is best at.
Mhm.
And so that's what, but she was able to do blood because she soulcast Shalon's blood.
Yep. Yeah, so if she was able to turn it into vinegar, like why else would she stick her finger in like that? Why else would it
Yeah, you think
bring
that's weird too?
jam?
Yeah,
Like all this
yeah.
jam was good, and then suddenly it's one that's extremely gross, and why would they mention that? They could have
Hmm.
easily written this chapter without it smelling like vinegar. She could say, I just don't want it.
You guys still don't trust Yasna? Is that what I'm hearing?
It's
Yeah,
not a matter of not trusting her, just that she
that was weird.
was behind all this and maybe testing Shalom.
So
Hmm.
Sheta, you trust Sadeas, you don't trust Yasna. Is that what I've got?
I don't trust anyone. I'm not trusting Sadeas either. Now that he's
Hmm.
kind of shown his hand
Oh
a
yeah,
bit.
now that he's clearly a good guy, you don't trust him.
Another thought about soul casting. When she soul casted blood, do they have blood types here? And like I know they
Hmm.
can't test for DNA and stuff, but whose blood does it turn into? What blood
That
type
is
is
an
it?
excellent question.
This I'd be
I do
studying
not
this.
know.
Universal blood, maybe.
There's no
Yeah,
that's
if they
not
don't,
a thing.
maybe it's just like, back when they used to do blood stuff and people would die because they didn't know about blood types yet. Maybe
Yeah.
it is just kind of a luck of the draw, and that's why Yasna's like, I'm not very good at, you know,
Oh. It's like, oh, I
like
gave
maybe
you
she's
type
actually
B
really good at it.
positive.
Yeah,
Whoops.
maybe she's really good at it, but actually they just don't know enough about medicine yet.
Yeah, it just makes me wonder. Yeah. What
I guess for that part, I
what's
just thought she just replicated whatever Shalon's blood was. I don't know how soul casting works, but I just thought she might touch her blood and be like, make more of this, but without poison, you know?
I have another question unrelated. Is there left-handedness in this world? Because
I
that would
thought that
suck for your
too.
safe hand.
Yeah.
Like you're gonna grow up thinking you're just uncoordinated and clumsy.
I
Like maybe you're
can't
Again,
just
write.
left-handed.
that could be like old timey stuff too, where if a kid was left handed, they just hit him until he was right handed, you know?
Yeah, pretty much. Probably not plot relevant. It was a thought.
I really
And
thought
It's
that
not plot
because I
relevant,
am.
but now I'm going to be watching out for evidence.
and then I had a lot of thoughts about lashing. And fortunately, they answered a lot of it in more of Zeph's chapters. But I had wondered, like, if you lashed to a ceiling and jumped out a window, would you just fly through the air, or would you go towards the sky? Is it bi-directional or to a point? but I think it kind of answered that when he cut open the roof and then sent that rock, chucked it through the sky by lashing to something far away. So maybe it is.
I
don't
think
know.
we also saw him like fly away in the prologue.
Oh, just flew off into the sky. Okay. Yeah, so I guess
Like
you can kind of fly if you just lash to something far away.
Like the moon.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess.
Well, it's lashing. It's not you're connecting yourself to something. It's more you're changing which way is down for you. So you're changing your gravity.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so it is just a single
Oh.
direction, not to a point. Okay. So then if you jumped out a window, you would fly because your gravity is in that direction. Okay.
Yeah. He's
And that
not
would be
Spider-Man
really
around.
whatever
It's-
power's lashing. If you lose it at that point, you're just going off forever.
Well, yeah,
Into space.
he did
It's
also.
also it's also kind of it's kind of flying, but also not because it's more just you're falling.
Falling with style.
With style.
Yeah.
But it did say it mentioned the stone he chucked in the sky would eventually fall because the stormlight would run out of power from
Mhm.
I don't know being too far away or something.
Hmm.
Oh, that's all my
This is why I like you, Nick. You always think of the stuff I don't think of because I never thought of that. The powers and the technical
How the
things.
fuck can this crazy shit work? Let's figure it out.
Yeah.
tearing it apart.
Like it's magic.
And
I'm
of
not
course the only
satisfied
reason
with its magic.
yeah,
Yeah.
and the only reason I do is because it's Brandon Sanderson and he
Mhm.
will have an answer for everything.
Yep.
Like I'm not going to tear apart Harry Potter because I'm not going to
Yeah.
get these answers.
If you're gonna build a magic system, just like with the word thing, if you're gonna build it, I am going to question it.
Right.
I think it's quite a compliment when people do for this kind of writing.
So that's why I
Yeah.
feel optimistic that like all of these weird things are going to be answered eventually. Like the Spren just seemed like whimsical fairy magic, but I know there's going to be some sort of
Mhm.
origin and purpose and sciencey reason for
Mhm.
them.
Yeah.
All right. Any other theories or anything?
Whatever
Mm.
mine was, I said it earlier, but I don't remember what it was. But I'm sure somebody was listening enough to know.
All right. Well, now what I'm gonna do since
I have
what?
some. I have a
Oh,
theory.
go ahead.
Well, not really a theory. It's just thoughts too.
Oh,
But
no.
you know how that person. You know how that. What was the type of person you said we were talking about that had the end part of a name that was from that land?
I know what you're talking about. I don't remember
Shinovar?
the name.
It was a type of person or a type of like a race of people that had
Wit was talking about it, mashing two words together.
Oh, that.
yeah.
Oh, Amia. So the Amians.
Yeah, Amian. So like they had a type of people that were also Amian, but it was like something Amian, you know? And it was
Yeah,
almost
so-
like a branch. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, so you had Axes the Collector, who we had met in the interlude, and he's a Saya Amian. And then here, Wit talks about a Dacian Amian.
Mm. In that, I feel like, or it seemed like it was a variation of that kind of people and stuff. And I wonder if the Parshendi that we fight, that are the warriors, and are the servant Parshendi, is like that kind of variant, and that maybe they are also some kind of Amian thing, since they are related but not. Unless there's a thought. Then
Like
I was
basically they're a mixed race, right?
yeah, like yeah, like a cousin, like related, like animals that are in the same species or something, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, same family kingdom, or I don't remember what they're called, but yeah.
Like a phyla or whatever. I don't know what I'm saying.
And then this is again, I kind of talked about this before, but that the Parshendi are being used like pawns. Someone is playing their song and someone is kind of directing them like toy soldiers, to manipulate all the armies and the lords. And someone had to have known that Dalinar and Sadeas were teaming up and had a second Parshendi army ready to fight them. And I think that whoever was directing them had access to that knowledge, you know.
I believed the they're being directed theory until he started putting together that they are all in male female couples. That I kind of interpreted as like I don't know, like life bond couples. Like there's some deeper connection than just their gender. That made me start to think that maybe they do have their own culture and they're not being controlled. Because you had me 100% on board with that before.
Yeah, I was thinking like a hive mind or something, because
Mhm.
like the songs and being able to pick it up somewhere completely independent. How can they do that?
Mhm.
Why does it make it different if they're a couple and stuff?
It
No,
just
no,
seems
I'm
like
just
the individualism.
yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, that's just how I interpreted it. Nothing actually proves that to me. It's just I'm less sure of your theory than I was before when I was very, very
really?
just that's it.
Because I thought it was even more of that theory because I'm like, why are they fighting like couple by couple and stuff? And then you think of the binary nature of the book and stuff, how they have this balance, um, and even in music, if you think of like bass and treble or clef, how they go together to harmonize and stuff, like maybe men and women, that's also kind of a theme in the book, also come together to harmonize and like complete each other and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Oh,
I would agree with that, but that would make me
okay.
think the them being controlled thing would make me believe that one a little less than I did before.
I think maybe that's how they have to fight, that's how they
Mhm.
fight better. So I
I
think they could still
completely
be
agree with
controlled.
you. Yeah, they could still be, but that makes me less sure of that or less confident in that than before because as Nick said, that shows that they have some form of like the
Individualism.
individual matters. It's not just a crowd of mindless monsters. That's I think what we're saying.
I see. Unless they're holding hands and calling each other babe, I'm not gonna think that. And then this is an old theory of mine, but it was that Hoy doesn't actually travel to these worlds. He just body hops into different Hoyds
I
of that
thought you were
world.
gonna go there. Yeah,
Yeah,
that
so
would
that's why he's all
explain
different.
his difference in appearance. Yeah, that would also explain how someone could travel between worlds, not physically.
Well,
That
what
could
about
make
when we
sense.
watched him jump in that pool and he disappeared into it?
He
I thought he
just
just killed
killed
himself.
somebody. He
Yeah.
just killed his body.
Uh-huh.
That could be true because the Elantrian was kind of dying there, right?
Yeah,
They're
that
just like,
body
I
was
don't need this one
done.
anymore.
Like, yeah.
It also could be that he's traveling to some higher plane of existence and then going into a body. So that could still work. I'm not sold on it though, but that could work.
Also,
Jeez,
the
that's
best
dark.
moment. Yeah. And that maybe he's even killing a Wit. Like, he's like, I'm just gonna hide Wit somewhere and then, you know, jump
Mhm.
into another world, What was I gonna
Well,
say?
he made it sound like he was pretty confident he'd probably meet Dalinar again.
Did it really? You think so?
I thought so, because he's like, hey, next time we meet, I'll have a good, clever name.
Oh. He'll show up as the king, the god of this land.
The god.
Yeah, the storm king, the storm lord. No. The best moment or the moment I really liked was um it was Kaladin talking about Adolin and how he wasn't going to get seduced again. I
You
couldn't
have
believe.
never, ever done this kind of shipping before. Where is this? What unlocked this in you?
It's because there's not enough romance in this book.
There's just not enough female characters, so you're just stuck with
There,
that. Is
yeah.
that it?
I'm starting to have to like ship the guys together.
Oh my god.
Not Sheeta. Let's compare it to the other books. You had Elantris. You had Sereni and Raoden was one romance, and then the only other one was really Tarina and Shuden. I guess Luca was married too and stuff, and Keine, but still, it was mostly like two romances focused in there.
Yeah, but
With
it
Miss
was
with
focused. The
with
like
Miss
romance is a focus,
No,
but not in this
Sheeta's right.
book.
There is no romance so far in here, except for two old people trying to rekindle an old thing.
Yeah, and it's
and
that's on the
Shalon
side.
and Capsule, kinda.
yeah, Shalon and
Who?
Capsule,
Oh yeah, that went so.
but
And
that
it
was still
wasn't
kind of a focus.
romantic.
And
It
I
was
guess
never all
Adolin
the
has
way.
his many romances.
Those are flings until he finds the one. Well, if
White
even if Kaladin and Adolin don't get together, I hope they become super best
Even
friends.
Even if.
He will
Nick, I
teach
am so
him
sorry
that.
that you have to be here for.
I listen to this every week.
There was
I
no
like them.
romance in Emperor's Soul, and Sheta didn't try to ship anybody in that.
There was totally romance in that one.
Yeah, I thought it was very
Between
romantic. You really got to
Emperor's
know. You had to
Soul?
get to know
Mhm.
people.
She was falling in love with the Emperor, in my opinion.
You had to really get to know him, and she took care of him. He was going to be a better man after that, and he'll never even know her. That's so romantic.
That's called stalking, but I'm not going to fight on you with that anymore.
You heard me last week.
Oh, God.
Yeah, but the crossover with Kaladin and Dalinar and Adolin in them was very exciting for me.
Mhm.
And I didn't think that they would ever be in the same battle together. So that was fun.
Oh, yeah, I
And
guess they
like,
technically
yeah,
were. I didn't really think of that.
mhm. Like if we saw this in a show or something or a movie, it would be very exciting because we'd see Kaladin and then we'd pan over and we'd see Dalinar and Adolin rushing in to battle, and that would be really fun.
All right. Anything else, Sheta?
No, just my wish that when Kaladin gets a shard blade and plate, he can fight with Adolin alongside him. And
Unless he
finally,
gets it from him.
no, that would be so sad. He'll get it from Amaram. He'll get his rightful stuff that he got,
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. And then he'll change his mind. Adolin will change his mind about Light Eyes.
All right. So now what we'll do is we're getting close to the end of this book. It's still a long book, so there's still a few episodes left, but we're gonna bring back the little segment we do towards the end of each book. The who will live and who will die segment.
Jesus.
So so it's just will they live or will they die before the end of this book? We'll start off with the Shallan storyline. So we'll go Yasna.
Oh, they better not kill Yasna. I'll be fucking
She'll
pissed.
survive.
Yeah, I'd
Yeah.
be so
Got it.
mad.
She's a major player, and she's only just starting, I think. No, she'll live.
All right. King Taravangian.
Dead.
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, especially if Zeth's going after all, he's probably on the list.
He's probably
Jeez.
already dead.
Mm-hmm.
And he's already sickly. So if not Zeph, then he'll just die from his sickness.
I think he's gonna, I was gonna say he was gonna live, but now I'm like, he has no purpose in the story. So he may very well die. You're right.
Yeah, Shallan and Yasna are leaving that city anyway. So like he's done.
Right. And then Shallan.
She'll live.
Yeah, I would be very shocked if they killed Shallan all of a sudden.
Certainly got
Yeah.
more to her story.
She has so many mysteries in her back
Mhm.
in her mysterious past. Like she's got something weird. So yeah, no, she'll survive.
All right. And then we'll go with Zeth.
Of
He's
course
fine.
he'll be fine.
Yeah.
He's too interesting to kill yet.
He's got too much to do.
He has
Yeah,
to
he's got work.
teach Kaladin how to use his powers.
Yeah, that's a fun one. Is that a theory or a hope?
Ooh.
Well, he's the only one that we've seen do it. I don't know. We know
I
Kaladin's
like
gonna
Wait a
be
minute. It
something.
never registered to me in any way that any of our main characters would ever learn this lashing power stuff.
Yeah, I didn't think that
I'd
either.
hate to see
For
it just
some
go
reason.
away.
Like, I'm like, well, obviously they will, but for some reason I'm like, oh, that's just some far off thing. That's not important. This isn't a magical book. They're just gonna stand around and do nothing for 3 entire books.
Yeah, not like Kaladin's already using some of that power, like
Mhm.
unknowingly.
I just, for some reason, it never registered to me, even though it seems so
We did a
just
good job. then.
blatantly factual. Like, that's the only reason to not be teaching us about that magic still and only giving us glimpses is because we would see it through a main character's eyes at some point.
Mm. Mm-hmm.
I
All
just
right,
love the
now
Bridge
let's-
Crew stuff so much. I could just watch that forever.
The what?
The Bridge Crew stuff.
Oh yeah.
I don't need
All
to
right,
know about
or-
armies or magic or anything.
Well, speaking of the bridge crew, let's start going through them. Or
Oh,
will
no.
they live or die? We'll start off with Gaz.
Dead.
Yeah, he's not part of the bridge crew.
Gaz will
Yeah, he's
live.
part of that storyline.
Gaz will live to
and
the
he will
end.
become one of his closest allies.
Ew, no. He will be like that bad guy that just won't die, and he'll be there till the end, you know?
I don't think he's going to be a bad guy in the end, especially now that they brought this new woman in to be the bad guy of this arc. I think
Yeah,
Gaz
but
is as much a slave as any of them, honestly.
Yeah, he hasn't. Yeah, you're right. He hasn't seen that terrible.
Hmm. He certainly isn't a good guy, but I think he's had a hard life.
Isn't he missing an arm or something, or an eye?
And
an eye.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, actually, now I think he'll die. I think he'll be the one that we see what's in the darkness through his perspective, actually.
Oh.
And we'll see like the glimpse of when people see, because we got 1 second of his perspective where he kind of saw something. I think we'll see a glimpse of the people who say the weird stuff. It'll be him we see it through, and some kind of horrific thing.
Oh, he'll die to teach us something? Is that what you're
Yeah.
saying?
Hmm. And it'll be kind of like we have enough sympathy to him that it'll be kind of sad and scary, but we don't like him enough that we'll not think it's cool.
Yeah, I could see that.
All right, now let's go to the Lopin.
The Lopin.
He says that a lot of his cousins call him the Lopin because they don't know any other Lopins.
Lopin's fine. Lopin will live until the end of the book, in my opinion.
If he doesn't betray everyone, he will live. But if he does,
I think he'll die because it would be sad.
Because
it
it's
will be so sad.
Oh yeah, let me revise my statement because I thought everyone was on the bridge crew. So I should be saying yes to every single one.
You
It's probably
still
the
believe
safe
that?
bet.
Yeah, and that's what's going to teach Kaladin that he needs to kill to protect. It's the only way. And he needs
can't
to
take
kill
that.
Light Eyes.
All right, next we'll go Teft.
It's hard to not answer as, do I want this person to die?
Is there a
'Cause-
bridge crew member you want to die?
No. But for
Okay.
all of these
Aw.
for all of these people, like Gaz, yeah, he can die. Teft, no way. But will he?
I think Teft might be the saddest one if he died because he's the one who knows the most of what's going on.
Mhm.
Random guess.
We need his wisdom. Mhm.
I'll
Mhm.
guess he'll live.
By the end of this book, I think he will live too. I don't think he will die yet.
Rock.
He also,
Live.
Rock is the
Mm.
only bridge crew that I think will live.
yeah, yes, he'll live.
All right. Moash.
Dead.
Oh, that would be so sad. They're just starting to be friends too. But if he died saving Kaladin, and he's like, "You taught me how to want to live again," and thank you. That would be sad. And I was like, "Oh, I'm glad I can call you friend." And then he dies.
I struggled to call you bridge leader, but now it's easy to call you friend. Is that it?
All right. Then we'll go Scar.
Dead.
Gar is
Yeah, Scar's dead for sure because I cannot precisely remember which one.
I'm just
It's
going
kinda
for the
like-
safe bet.
Like
I don't think
like Dunny, where I didn't know him that well, and then he died.
I don't think
Dunny was
all of them are gonna die, just enough to where it's a safe bet to guess yes on most of them.
Yeah, I don't know if maybe he could be a hangers on type where he like, oh, Scar survived. He just got another scar. Like, I'm gonna say he survives.
All right. And then we'll go with Sigzil.
Survives. He's too useful. He has more stories to tell.
He's not a storyteller.
I'm gonna say dead.
Jeez.
All right. And we'll go with Shen.
If Kaladin's plan is to not kill him and use him as bait, then he will survive. Shen is the
If Parshendi
Parshendi.
are alive, he will survive. If they're little monster things, then he will die, I think.
I think it would be interesting if they got anything out of him, like suddenly start like, yeah, I can talk this whole time. Just no one asked me
Yes,
any
it just-
questions.
Yeah.
Yeah. That would be really cute. He would jump to be my top favorite character then.
I think it would be fascinating if all of them died except him. How would Kaladin react to that? Would he just kill him right there?
No, he wouldn't kill him.
And then I'm just going to put a few together. You can tell me if there's any in specific that you want to name out. But they're all ones that have been there, but they haven't played a huge role. So we'll go Drahe, Leighton, Dabbid, Aber, Maps, they've all had like speaking roles. They've all done stuff. Any of them that stick out to you that they have to die or they have to live?
Every single one will die because I don't remember them very well.
Yep, I'm going with
Dabbid's
that.
the
Safe
one
bet.
that's to the ones that are easy to describe. Dabbid's the one who's super shell shocked and can't speak anymore.
I'm still not going to remember them, so they're all dead.
Who was the guy who spoke when they gave Rock the razor?
Maps.
Maps said
Maps
that?
is the one that spoke.
Okay.
Maps. Yep.
Okay. I don't want Maps to die, but I feel like he will.
All right. And then we'll go Kaladin.
Now that would be a surprise, and I say no.
Unless he does a born again thing where he dies and is born again.
That'd be tricky.
Comes Kaladin the White.
Mm-hmm.
No,
Stormborn.
I don't think so.
Oh, and I guess I might as well throw her in. Syl.
No! You can't
No.
kill Syl, you fucking monster.
That would be the saddest.
Yeah, Jesus. Now, if you want to have Kaladin lose all hope, kill Syl. Jesus.
Can you
All right.
kill
I don't think this book would be
Spider?
that popular if Kaladin and Syl just died in this first book. It's not like Kelsier where at least you have the rest of the main characters and Vin and stuff. It would just be, I think a lot of people would be like, I don't really want to read this book.
And then let's go up to the Dalinar storyline. So we'll go with Sadeas.
No way. He's living.
I could see him dying if he does any sort of turning or betrayal by the end of the book.
Mm.
All right. Elokar.
He's dead.
Ooh, that would be spicy.
100%. And he
Who would
may
take
even
his
be
place?
killed by our assassin. Do we know who's next in line? How the passing the mantle works?
It'd be Dalinar,
Would it? Did it say that?
his uncle.
Yeah, looking at the family line, and I mean, it's not going to be Yasna or
Mhm.
Or his mom. He'd become king and he'd have to marry his old lover.
I always
And-
thought he was going to go insane and go against Dalinar. At this point, it's been so long, I don't feel like that's going to happen anymore. He's also had so little character work for so long that I feel like the most horrifying thing would be for him to just be killed.
Yeah. He's on a list, so
Mm-hmm.
dead.
It's true. Kings are not safe right now.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Adolin.
No way.
No.
No.
Adolin's being set
Alright.
up to be a main character, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm. I love Adolin. I'm glad we got to see him.
All right. Renarin.
Secret villain.
No.
He's living. Secret
Justin?
villain or secretly gay.
Why did I forget who Renarin is?
That's
Dalinar's
Adolin's
son.
brother.
Oh, him. No, he's evil. Yeah, he's the villain.
He's evil.
He's gonna power play. He's doing something. He's talked way too little for me to trust him.
All right. Navani.
I doubt it.
Nah, I don't think she has a reason to be killed.
Mm, yeah. She's fine.
And then Dalinar.
Yeah.
I thought he was gonna die pretty early on. But yeah, I don't know by the end of this book or the next book.
I think he's dead. Once the betrayal happens.
That would be shocking. I do feel like he's a little bit primed to be killed for some
Mhm.
reason.
50-50.
He's got too much going for him without enough cartoonish personality. So I think he's fucked.
Yeah, I'm getting some Eddard Stark vibes from him.
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's just all the honor stuff.
So a lot of you now, you're going to have pretty much Adolin becoming king because you're killing Elokar and Dalinar.
Mm-hmm. Well, no, I think he'll be the rightful king. I don't think he'll be.
I think his mom will rule.
No, I mean, I think
his
somebody
son, huh?
behind this. I think things are going to get into chaos, and most of them are going to have to leave the camp. I think it's going to get real bad.
There's going to be some kind of overthrow of everything after all the kings are dead. I don't think they can recover.
I think by the end of this book, or maybe somewhere in the next book, kingdoms are not going to be as big of a thing because some force is going to make that just seem laughable.
Giant storm god face comes out and it's like, all right, you guys are done.
I guess there's one more major character we haven't brought up. Wit.
Yes. Well, according
He
to
left.
Sheta, he just went and died. And
His
then he'll be
body might
reborn on
die.
another world.
Yeah.
Hoyd
Yeah.
won't, but Wit will.
Yeah, wait, what if he means, Dalinar, I'll speak to you when you die and go to the afterlife. Then I'll have a clever
Ooh.
thing for you to call me. I could see that being the case, too. Whatever is beyond these worlds.
That
And
would
he'll
be
be like, you can call
interesting.
me Adelazium. That's my name now.
Oh, it'd be interesting if the story continues and half of our characters are dead and in Shadesmar, and half of them are here. That would be.
All right. Well, that's pretty much all the people that I feel like are worth putting in the Deadpool. I don't really think we need to go through all the high princes we haven't focused on or anything. So let's go to our character of the week.
Mine's
Hmm.
Dalinar for killing a fuckload of people. That's number one. Number two, less important, is feeling bad about it. I think both of those are very interesting.
Mm.
I also
He's my
choose
He's my two favorite types of characters in one because of that. A
two things.
warrior pacifist and a super psychotic, really skilled at just slaughtering people guy.
My two favorite things: killing people and feeling bad about it.
Basically, yeah.
Yeah, I choose Dalinar too. Yes, for fighting really well and cool, but also he saved Sadeas, risking himself a bit, and he also was able to convince him to do the joint assault, though maybe that was an easy gimme because Sadeas benefits a lot from it, but he's trying. He's trying.
We didn't talk about that part where he was talking with those other nobles. Oh, we did actually, where he was wondering why they were buttering him up and what kind of manipulation was happening to him, to Dalinar. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to pick him as well. Yeah, he's very confused, but he's doing his best. Oh, and for noticing the Parshendi, like being female and wondering about that stuff. Like, I want to know what's happening to him, where he would suddenly have thoughts that he'd never had before.
I have to say, I'm impressed. I don't know Dalinar was the type of guy who's like, I can pick a chick out of a crowd of like 50 people. He's
That's
got
a
such a
chick.
good eye for ladies.
I imagine he was a ladies' man back in the day, the kind of guy who like partied a lot,
Well, we knew that he
drank a
drank a
lot,
lot.
hmm
He
enjoyed
was
the
quite
all
literally
the all the things in life.
he was quite literally described as no woman would consider Dalinar handsome.
Oh, right. I remember
Handsome
that.
is different than,
Uh-huh. If you
manly.
are a warrior, you're gonna
Yeah.
get any lady you want.
Think of like a Mickey Rourke type. No one would call him handsome.
He was
Well,
the Blackthorn.
also
Yeah,
Mickey Rourke was
exactly.
more handsome before his boxing stuff.
I'm not talking about before his boxing. I'm talking about the modern day.
And
He's
Sheta,
old, he's ugly, he's fucked up.
your statement
Mhm.
has been proven false in the story. When you said, when you're a warrior, you can get any woman. Dalinar didn't
Mhm.
get Navani.
Oh, burn.
She is a prize, and she wants him now. She
I
was
think what
picking who
Sheta
was gonna
means
be
is you can
king.
get any floozy.
You're not gonna sleep alone if you don't want to, is what I'm saying.
All right. And for my character, I'm also going to go with Dalinar. Both
Ooh.
Dalinar chapters were just really strong Dalinar chapters. It's hard to not pick him.
Mhm.
Dalinar sweeps.
Yep. All right. So now let's go over to the quotes.
Nick, you're the guest, so I say you go first so we don't steal your quote.
Oh yeah.
The chasm swallowed the cries of the dead, and the wind carried nothing but dust and the clatter of our own exhaustion. Above us, the high princes and light eyes celebrated victory, but down here, in the mud and the shadows, we counted lives and coins. I mean, I could go pretty far with this, but I'm gonna go a little further. A single emerald brome lay on a
Oh,
corpse
artsy. Oh.
200 days of a bridgeman's labor, and yet, for all its value, it could not buy back the men we had lost. I glanced at the others. We could take it, risk our nets for fleeting at the chance of comfort, or leave it and maintain what little honor we had still possessed. The choice was ours, but the weight of it pressed heavier than any bridge we'd carried.
Jeez.
Yeah, it was long. It didn't look as long when I wrote it
No,
out.
not
It took a
long.
while to read.
Poetic and
Yeah.
dark.
Yeah, it
That was
is.
really good.
So like it's a big part of it is the huge disparity between above and below. Like everybody won. They won the battle. They're part of it, but the soldiers up above were all celebrating and they're just like sent back into the suffering.
True. And eating like kings.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I forgot. They're feasting and celebrating up there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yep.
even
I
the
didn't
even the
realize.
soldiers, he said, right? Did he say something like tonight they
Yeah.
can
They'll
all
eat
eat
like
like light
lords, yeah.
ice?
Or like light eyes, yeah. Well, that makes that even sadder when it points out that they got sent down as soon as they got back.
Right.
Yeah.
We won. What do
Oh,
we get? Back in the pit.
I always think of the scene in James and the Giant Peach where he wants to hang out with the kids, but he just had to go pick up garbage.
Oh.
Yeah.
And he has nothing but fish heads left to eat.
Yeah. He didn't get to have any part of the fun.
Mm-hmm. My quote comes from Wit talking to Dalinar. The foolishness of men who care, Dalinar, and the brilliance of those who do not. The second depend on the first, but also exploit the first, while the first misunderstand the second, hoping that the second are more like the first, and all of their games steal our time, second by second. I thought that was such a funny description of how many people are that's a great description of the world because people who care about things do often assume that other people do, but there's a lot of people who openly know they don't, exploit them, rely on them, depend on them, and specifically depend on their belief that all men are good and care about things. So I really enjoyed that very cynical, but also kind of wise take on the world and how men are or who people are.
I like that. That's cool. Like Wit's final words, maybe.
Mm-hmm. A little bit. And Dalinar is one of the men who care, you know. Who are the men who don't in this story? Very likely Sadeas.
Mm-hmm.
You think so?
We'll
But he
see.
did. I want to think it's Sadeas and Dalinar to the end, but
Ride or die.
yeah. Now they're like, all right, we know we got each other's back. We're unstoppable.
Well, we'll see. I could believe either way.
Okay. My quote is Dalinar. It was time to let the blackthorn loose. Dalinar punched through the Parshendi ranks. He felled Parshendi like a man sweeping crumbs from the table after a meal. There was no controlled precision here. No careful engagement of a few squads with his honor guard at the back. This was a full-out attack with all the power and deadly force of a lifelong killer enhanced by shards. He was like a tempest, slashing through legs, torso, arms, necks, killing, killing, killing. He was a maelstrom of death and steel. Weapons bounced off his armor, leaving tiny cracks. He killed dozens, always moving, forcing his way through toward where Sadeas's banner had fallen. Eyes burned, swords flashed in the sky, and Parshendi sang. The close press of their own troops bunching up as they hit Sadeas's line inhibited them, but not Dalinar. He didn't have to worry about striking friends, nor did he have to worry about his weapon getting caught in flesh or stuck in armor. And if corpses got in his way, he seared through them. Dead flesh would cut like steel and wood. I imagine this scene because shard blades are so sharp, right? And they don't cut normally. So I was like, what is it where a sword is swung like that without having to get stuck in anything? And I was like, it's a lightsaber, like where you just kind of swing
Kinda.
through it and stuff. So I would want to see this fight and see how it would be like.
You know, Sheta, when you did that quote, the Doom music just started playing in my head.
I like the metaphors they use, like in this one, sweeping breadcrumbs. And then
Jesus.
I remember in the one where Kaladin beat the shard bearer, how it said the shard bearer, everyone was attacking him, and he regarded them like someone might regard a bunch of puppies jumping around him. Kind of just looking down, like, oh,
Oh,
hey,
God.
what's that?
Yeah, the way they describe shard bearers is it just seems like the most powerful thing.
Hmm.
Like you're just 100% specced out and like you're just playing
On eat
Warriors
casual mode.
Orochi. Yeah. It's just the sweeping away enemies thing. Like with
Mhm.
you're just so powerful. Like
Mhm.
All right, then mine is a different part of Dalinar towards the end. He felt like a bloody prey beast trying to fend off 1,000 different snapping predators at once. But he was no Chull, whose only protection was to hide. He killed, and the thrill rose to a crescendo within him. He sensed real danger, a chance of falling, and that made the thrill surge. He nearly choked on it, the joy, the pleasure, the desire, the danger. More and more blows got through. More and more Parshendi were able to duck or dodge out of the way of his blade. He felt a breeze through the back of his breastplate, cooling, terrible, frightening. The cracks were widening. At the breastplate burst. He screamed, slamming his blade down through a Parshendi, burning out his eyes, dropping the man without a mark on his skin. Dalinar brought his blade up, spinning, cutting through the legs of another foe. His insides were a tempest of emotions, and his brow beneath the helm streamed with sweat. What would happen to the Alethi army if both he and Sadeas fell here? 2 high princes dead in the same battle? 2 sets of plate and 1 blade lost? It couldn't happen. He wouldn't fall here. He didn't know yet if he was mad or not. He couldn't die until he knew. I just thought the whole Dalinar fight was cool. Just him go Sheta's segment, just him going through fighting, all the talk about the thrill rising in him, going into battle, all this. And at this point, he's at this and he's like, I'm doing this. I cannot die. I cannot die unless I know what these visions are. I have to live.
Mm-hmm.
something I didn't realize they said it in your quote too, but he was compared to a tempest and a maelstrom in there, and those are like our storm descriptors and stuff. And I just
That's
think
very
that
true. Yeah.
like fighting like with the power of a storm, those are
I
purposely
did not
picked.
catch
Yeah.
that, but that is that's very specific.
I have a question about shard blades. So you cut an arm and the arm goes dead, right? You slice a neck, the head is dead. What if you slice someone right through the torso? Does it go up or down?
It depends on if you're hitting the spine. Because they say what it is, it's like hitting the spine severs the soul.
Okay. Oh, the soul. Okay, so it becomes magic. Something
So
at
the
that
soul is connected to the spine, is what I'm hearing, which is a weird
spinal
thing to
cord.
think.
Yep. Here's a chart. It'll say that's where it connects.
So
On
will the eyes burn
acupuncture
out and
chart.
everything if you hit someone way low on the tailbone, just as low as you can?
Jeez.
I'm gonna have to grab a bunch of live Parshendi and test this out.
That's fair.
Right,
If they have
Right
a
about
cut this
soul.
one
here.
right through the waist.
Yeah,
But
when you
wait,
get to the
doing that to
6th
Parshendi does it
vertebrae.
too, right? Yeah. If that does that to Parshendi, it implies that they do have souls of some kind. They are alive in some way. They're not like things.
Animals, they do it to animals too, or the chasm fiends, right? Like they also,
They don't kill them
Yeah.
like that, though, do they? Like
yeah, with the
in the
blade.
chapter we saw, they were hitting it with the blade, and it wasn't until it died we're actually able to cut into it.
yeah, but they
Because
don't specifically sever the spine or the quote
Sure.
soul, as far as we're aware that I know of. Because
There's something about
didn't a chapter describe how humans and animals are different because of their souls?
yeah, because that's what Kaladin's mom was saying. Like humans have
Okay.
souls and things
Okay,
have
that was
spren
it.
in them,
So that's not
Or
official. That's just what somebody believes.
yeah. So I wonder if spren energy and soul energy are similar, and that's what they cut with the blade. Maybe that's just life,
Yeah,
life
the
energy.
thing the Death Spren are trying to eat.
Yeah.
Well, let's now look forward to next week's episode. So next week, we're reading only 2 chapters.
What?
Chapters 57 and 58.
Better be
It's
good.
going to be some fucking chapter.
They're both longer chapters.
Yeah, but still. I doubt they're just longer for no reason.
Yep, so 2
I just
chapters
need to
next
finish.
week.
I can't stand it.
All right. Yep, so 2 chapters next week. So once again, we'll thank Nick for joining us here.
Yeah, thanks a lot.
You're welcome.
Thank you for your input and your insight.
Thanks for
Stop
the
staging me the whole
opportunity.
time.
No.
Yeah,
You
it
don't know
was
how
very
many
fun.
comments I get of replace that asshole with Nick.
Yeah, just have Nick here.
Half
Yeah,
of those
Nick
are me
Justin.
commenting.
Yep. So everyone, for next week, we have 2 chapters. You read them. After that, I don't know, have some fun. Maybe throw your own Diddy party.
Yes, throw your
Joe.
own Diddy
Maybe.
party. Hey, you don't
Yeah,
get in trouble for doing that. Diddy got off, so sounds like a good idea.
Oh, he got off.
Oh no!
No.
Oh, no! I don't think we can afford
But
enough baby oil for that, or good enough lawyers.
No, don't do that. Instead, everyone, we talked about Star Wars stuff earlier, so also read some of those old Star Wars EU books, or watch like the Clone Wars cartoon.
If you haven't checked out Bad Batch, you should, because it's pretty fun.
Well, you should watch Clone Wars before you watch Bad Batch.
You don't have to. Just kidding. Just kidding. It's better if you do. There are a lot of good Star Wars books out there if you've been unsatisfied with the current stuff.
Yep. All right. So that's our show, everyone. We'll see you all next week if we didn't piss you off too much this week to make you quit. So bye-bye, everyone.
See you, Azusa.
Bye.